Korean player in any game, any age division to become world champion. That's something that has got to make him feel
All right.
extremely proud.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
late,
You
so
can
I'm gonna be
hear the
quiet.
crowd outside. The LATAM players tend
But
to
we're
be
gonna
the
watch
loudest,
Worlds.
right? They bring the energy, and
Because there
you
might
can
be like a
hear that
trailer or something at the end, and I just want to watch the end of it.
Absolutely, so much pride in the region, and Fernando able
How's it
to
going?
take it down with the Iron Thorns EX. I'm gonna kick it over to you, Boo. You did, I have to say, kind of predict this. What was leading you towards that inkling of Iron Thorns EX being a good play for this event?
I'm
Hi.
going to be 100% honest, Chip. Everybody else already picked my picks, and I actually remember saying in our Discord chat, well, I guess I got to pick some of the back burner picks, the rejects of the format here, but it ended up not being the case because
They're talking about
people don't
TCG.
necessarily support this
Oh,
deck.
I've not actually looked at the
Very different
teams.
type of
I'll have to have a
archetype
look.
to bring to the World Championships. You have to hit the right type of matches.
I think I wanted the
to,
Italian to win, though.
utilize in a fantastic way. But we saw that happen here. It took everything down, and it beat all of the odds because even playing into the matchups that you wouldn't necessarily think are positive on paper, it ended up being so for Fernando. So fantastic to see, and yeah, the future's here, I suppose.
The future is here, taking down the ancient ways, Fernando, with the incredible win. Let's take a look at that bracket, how Fernando got to
This guy thought he owned me, but he actually came up with a good idea.
It's been a long one. They played day 1 of Swiss, into day 2 of Swiss, into our top
All right.
cut with 9 players actually with that play-in match that had to happen.
TCG was boring.
It is Fernando Cifuentes
Why?
that
Do you
eventually
just not like
takes
TCG, or was it just-
Shirakawa in the
Oh.
final match?
Okay.
Look at that.
Half the guys use Ogrepon.
Finals, the
I see.
undefeated Jesse Parker was waiting for.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about TCG, so I was kind of just sitting there
It was quite a match.
blank. I'm glad Ogrepon didn't win.
There in the finals.
Is the audio okay? Is it a bit loud? Is it a bit quiet? Let me know.
World champion now, Fernando.
And Fernando overcoming 2 decks in a row that I think a lot of people would say.
Oh, I thought you pinged me
is
because of the
strategy
earthquake.
of
Oh
the
my
Iron
god,
Thorns,
that's
a
crazy.
slower, more disruptive strategy.
I hope
He will have
Chili's
a hard
okay.
time against these big,
That's
basic
crazy,
attacking
dude.
decks like the Miraidon from Jesse Parker and like the Roaring Moon from Sanosuke. Would you say
Ogrepon
so?
terrorizing VGC.
Oh, certainly, like on paper.
No, it was
faster,
it was Iron Thorns that won,
item-based energy
which is apparently like not that good of a deck.
Even though
Audio's good?
stops their abilities, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, I
Just
like
as
card
it
designs
turns
too.
out, no squawk ability, no concealed card. All of those factored into Fernando coming at the top.
Of course, all of our players here in the top 8 should be extremely proud of
5.5
their
and that they're used to
accomplishments.
it.
Everyone
That's
who made it to
crazy,
the
yeah.
semifinals and farther
I'm sure they
has
are
gotten
used
up
to
an
it.
invite to next year's World Championships, also an incredible feat. I mean, this is an accomplishment many players would hold in high regard for the entirety of their Pokemon playing career.
Yeah, and they get
No,
to take
VGC
home a
starting
bunch of
now.
stuff, too.
That's why I
You
wanted
got
to go live, because I
playmats,
actually
you
know
got hats,
VGC.
you got promo cards.
Well,
There's a ton
I don't know
of
it,
very,
but you know what I
very
mean. Like
Pokemon merch that
I don't know
they
anything about
sell
TCG. I'm not gonna watch
as
that.
well. And they can take that home as a little piece of history of their feats here at the Hawaii World Championships in 2024.
We're watching the closing ceremony right
I
now.
think there's a keychain in there. I want a
Okay.
keychain, Chip. I'm hoping for one.
A champion keychain, perhaps. Well, of course, Fernando is not our only trading card game world champion. We also must show respect to our seniors and juniors division. First up, the seniors top 8 here, and it was Evan with a
Dude, senior players and junior players are crazy.
win in that final match.
I'll never forget
You
the Scottish
and
player
I
that
were
won,
able to take us through that game.
that won
Kyle,
Worlds.
what
I
were
think it
some of
was the same year
standout
that
moments,
Wolfie, or maybe the year after
what
Wolfie
impressed
won
you about
Worlds.
what you saw from Evan in that
Closing
game?
predictions announcement.
Remained calm under pressure. He was finding
I feel like they-
opportunities to pick his spots and chose to be very defensive.
Part of me thinks that they might tell us like
Don't always expect to see. You see,
if the
young
next
player,
game is gonna have
star,
VGC in it or
drives
not.
wide, and you say, you know what, I could just try to win right here.
Not sure.
No, he slows down, uses the Hisui and Gudra.
Your runs in.
uses
Wolfie lost.
those
You see?
risky attacks like the Trifrost from the
God,
hero to
I was so
close
gutted
that
to see
shot
Wolfie
as
lost,
opposed
man.
to opening them up.
Yes, congrats, of course, as well to Haruka Umeharo for
I almost
the
didn't want to watch.
finals
There's a Wolfie
run.
drop off.
The
It's
lone
rough.
Gardevoir player
Eh.
in any of our final matches.
Well,
would
may as well
be
watch
that
anyway.
I mean, it's, I think, to be expected. Gardevoir is a very
Yeah, I think he
powerful
should
player,
have.
but it is
3 in a row
slower
is rough. Yeah.
compared to these fast-paced,
I want to know what
advanced
happened,
stage
dude. That's an immense amount of pressure, dude.
Gardevoir pulling through to the very end, but
He's literally. I still think he's genuinely the GOAT.
Regidrago V-Star.
Now, Iron Thorns was not only present in our Masters division.
Like, he's genuinely the
it was
GOAT.
also present in our Juniors division as well. Logan Bailey taking it all the way to the finals, but Sayuka Ota with the win over Logan in the
I'm just gonna make a
Before I got
prediction.
to cast that, Pablo, what were your big takeaways?
I made the prediction on Twitter.
It was definitely back and forth. The difference between Masters being that Sakuya's deck was specifically built to attack with that Roaring Moon and build up the damage with the ancient cards in the discard pile. So eventually the damage just got...
Yeah, I've heard some bad things about Worlds. I heard that
all of that.
someone got like someone got DQ'd. I think it was in seniors or junior. I think it was seniors because someone claimed that Shiny Zacian was illegal. They were like, "Oh, that's illegal," and the judge agreed with them, even though you can get Shiny Zacian legally. And someone got like someone lost because they got DQ'd a bunch as well. Like they just disconnected a bunch, like shit like that.
You know, these players competing in the juniors division.
Yeah, Wolfie's. I think Wolfie is genuinely the best Pokemon player. He's just the most consistent. Being consistent in a game with this much RNG is crazy. Oh, you saw MD?
As they continue to age up and grow in the
Oh, kitty cat.
trading card game.
Hey, kitty cat.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable. Just think with the potential that they
Yeah.
have, not only to accomplish this feat so early,
Okay, cat.
but this could be the picture that we're bringing up
Mm.
on X in 10 years. Say, look at him now. It's so cute.
Hey.
Instead of the
Don't call it
picture,
X, it's
the-
Twitter.
It's the company necklace,
There
right?
we go.
Love it.
Logan's got to make sure to hang on to that Compe necklace for it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
to come.
you're-
Let's look at our
if you're stomping
senior
people
division
undefeated-
champion and finalist, and once again, yes, it was Evan with the Reggie Drago V-Star. A deck
Kitty, his name is MD, EMDY.
all three age divisions. I mean, it was over 50% of our Masters top cut. Boo, why do you think that this is the only finals match that we actually got to see from Reggie?
Is
Drago?
Zacian at
Why
31
was
IV in
it
special
stopped
attack
at the
on hypertrained, but the
I mean,
event
we
was
did
locked
see
to 30
it
IV?
throughout the
Ah,
weekend. It does have some
okay.
volatility to
But then
it,
how did-
where-
I don't know.
where it's consistency lies sometimes.
if that's actually the truth, then
Really get to pop
that
up,
is illegal, but
as we saw there.
and
for
I don't know.
Evan, You see how powerful this deck truly is, but
something's supposed to happen, maybe. We don't know. I think there is going to be gameplay stuff with Z at the end, yeah. I think so.
This was the deck to beat, so everyone was building their decks to take down.
Just trying to watch
Reggie
Worlds.
Drago. So there were those tech cards, there were those strategies there in the crowd.
Nothing
We
interesting
just had
happened
to be
yet.
able to power
It'll be
through
like
them,
another
and
hour or
sure
so.
enough, Evan was able to
Just
do
hang
that
out and watch
in
Worlds
the
with me. Let's
seniors
just chill.
finals and take things down. I'm sure super happy to take Reggie Drago here first place. You're the Drago, Chip.
Yes.
Absolutely, something to hold in high regard for the rest of his life.
I'm pretty sure there is going to be something, though.
Fuentes was able to win in the Masters division. Iron Thorn EX, a couple of key crushing hammers, a couple of key gusting options at the exact right time. Sanosuke tried his best to keep himself in a position.
I mean, it is a hack Zacian.
Kyle, it just ended up not being enough.
Yeah, and it was quite a back and forth.
If it
We know
didn't
that
have, like, the
matchup
locked
is so
30 IV
volatile the
in special
beginning.
attack.
You need to see all the right cards, and it really came down to mulligans. When you look at
I don't know. I mean,
that
it's
game too,
VGC. It
give
could
this
go
many
on.
cards,
The
he's gotta
battles
find
could be
something to do with them.
30 minutes long. They could
No
be 10 minutes long. Like, and
three, and
then after that, it's the closing start. Like, it'll be a bit.
When you don't have those resources like the Pheasantipity, the Squawkabilly, all of those cards to help out, you're just not going to find a way to keep up with what Fernando.
But from what I'm understanding, they're going to say
Now
something
it is
about
time
Pokemon
for
games,
my
I think.
favorite part of
And they'll also
we
announce
get
the next
to
Worlds.
crown our champions. We get to see them hoist their trophies high. Let's get down to the stage to our trophy ceremony. Anna, take it away.
Hi.
Thank you so much. It has been a good day to win with another great showcase of amazing Pokemon action here at the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. I want to thank you all for being here, for competing and supporting. And if you're not here
Ow.
on this stage today, let this fuel your passion to meet us up here next time. Now, let's welcome our finalists and champions. First, congratulations to our trading card game junior finalist, Logan Bailey.
I mean, a lot of people are just really like, oh, what's the word? People, I don't think apathetic's the right word. People are just like really like cynical when it comes to anything Pokemon related. Everyone's like all prepared to be disappointed. I feel like they've got to say at least like what games we'll be doing VGC in 2025, right?
For our trading card game,
They have to,
junior
like, they have to tell us.
champion,
Dude, MD looks so cool. Yeah, and I feel like if it is going to be the Legends ZA we do VGC in, then, you know. Oh my god, he almost dropped that shit. Dude, please. Please don't. Please don't drop it, little man. Dude, TCG's crazy. It's cool that the finalists get like trophies too, right? That's really cool. MD is a he. I mean, I don't think we should follow. I don't think we follow things like that. Pokemon don't really do patterns. It's not done. This is just TCG. We're doing VGC after this. You're fine. It's all good. How's it going, Volcanon? Yeah, see, people do have their expectations way high. But no, I'm tired of people being like, trying to find patterns in Pokemon, like, yeah, just because Legends ZA, no, just because Legends Arceus didn't have, like, online battling doesn't mean ZA won't. Like, they're bringing back Megas. I wouldn't put anything, like, I wouldn't say no to anything. Like, we don't know. We don't know. You can guess, but I don't, it doesn't mean anything, dude. Hopping on PokeEngine? Oh my god, he's a PokeEngine gamer. Dude, I wouldn't be mad about getting a silver trophy. That's fucking awesome.
And finally, a big round of applause for the trading card game Masters champion, Fernando Cifuentes.
Dude, the people like on stage that are able to just like pronounce these names, I'd be so bad at this. I would be so bad at this job. I've got so much respect to these guys. Yeah, we're watching Worlds. There might be some Pokemon stuff at the end. But there's gonna be something announced. And I just want to watch it. It might do. It might do.
Now, one more big final cheer for all of our top players here at the 2024 Pokemon World Championship.
This is why I don't make tweets. This is why I don't make tweets, bro. I tweeted out Spain 2025 for Worlds. Joe Merrick replied saying that it wouldn't happen because of Spain's pricing laws. And I just quote retweeted saying Worlds in Canada 2025. The fucking song cut.
Pokemon trainers.
Oh, hello.
Alola, as we would say here in the Alola region. I am Joe Brown, joined by Gabby Snyder, and what a week.
Yo, this song slaps, by the way. The song they're playing in the background, it's a really good song.
Gabby, we have crowned Unite champions. We have crowned Go champions, trading card game champions. It's time for the video game to get in on the action.
It is finally time for the video game to get in on the action, but congratulations to all of our champions and finalists. It's just been so many exciting games this morning, back to back to back, and of course.
Oh wow, apparently Fernando lost in top 8. The TCG guy, apparently he lost in top 8 but was able to advance because the person that beat him did something to get himself disqualified. And apparently I think it was the guy that did the did that motion, which people thought it was like
an amazing day. You know, we've had
yeah, that's crazy. So the guy that won was literally out in top 8. That's crazy.
We've started in day one with so many masters.
Anyways,
Gabby and I are going to be covering the junior World Championship match, which should, you know, these trainers, they're no slouch. We got to meet them backstage. Very impressive.
Very impressive indeed. But in case you're just tuning in and you want a little bit of a preview of what's to come, yes, we will be opening here with the junior finals in a few minutes. But after that, we will be featuring our senior finalists, and then of course,
all right, let's see.
Masters finalist showdown between Luca Ceribelle and Yuta Ishigaki.
Ooh.
Miraidon versus Calyrex Ice Rider.
I want Miraidon to win. I don't want the horse to win. They've got Farigiraf, they've got Ogerpon, they've got Miraidon. I'm voting for Luca. Let's go, Luca.
Go get your popcorn, go get your snacks, your drinks, whatever you need to enjoy the show, because it's going to be a fantastic time.
Yeah,
how's it going, Blockins?
Watching here in the venue or watching around the globe, we apparently you sitting here with us.
People were saying it might not have been that gesture though, because apparently he was talking about rolling the dice, so people thought it was like a rolling the dice type of gesture. I don't know.
$30,000 to the winner of the World Championships in the video game, $20,000 to second place, and the other prizes have already been rewarded. As there's only one battle left.
It's cool that it's rare to see, but I want Miraidon to win. Bring it home, Miraidon.
Let's take a look at the format that these trainers competed in throughout the weekend.
The 2024 Pokemon World Championship event will be showcasing the best Pokemon VG players and matches all weekend. Trainers from around the world are here to compete for the title of World Champion.
Okay.
$2 million in prizing. Every
VGC time. This is what we're here for.
On Friday, our trainers faced off with Swiss rounds. Trainers who met the required match points advanced to Saturday. Trainers who advanced from Friday continued with Swiss rounds, playing until top cut was determined. Trainers then competed in a single elimination bracket until only the final 2 players remained. Today on Championship Sunday,
yeah, Ogerpon, the Ogerpon's here.
And all matches are best of 3. Who will take the title of Pokemon World Champion this weekend? Watch to find out and follow the action at Pokemon.com/play.
Yep, Ogerpon Heart Flame.
In just a few moments, we will crown our juniors.
That's for Masters. We're doing juniors first, though.
That they took to get to
Kevin and Tatsuomi.
Looking at top 8 here to the finals, not too difficult in a bunch of 2-0 victories.
I was
God damn.
to say, I mean, talk about a really interesting bracket here. Every single match leading into this finals here from the juniors division was a 2-0 defeat. Kevin
US versus Japan.
Hideo Uezu and Minato Kodama defined his path to the finals.
Right, and then Tatsuomi Shimanuki, Kevin's opponent.
I love Miraidon.
Kapona Masuda and Kisuke Furusho in the semi-finals. So, unfortunately, one of these 2 trainers is going to have to take their first and second losses of the top cut.
We will get to that match in a moment.
May as well just watch it. May as well just watch VGC.
You'll hear from me probably. If you haven't already, make sure to grab the Sylveon that we are currently distributing via Wi-Fi in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. All you have to do is connect to the internet, enter in the code SleepTalkWorlds, and you can get your own Sylveon that's modeled after the one that Tomoya Ogawa used last year to win
modeled after
World Championship.
You telling me it's not his Sylveon?
Yeah, it's always fun to
fucked up.
watch the Tomoya celebration as well. It was just so wholesome, so pure, just pure bliss.
Oh, that's really cool.
Champion Sylveon, also a potential Pokemon that might have a bit of a resurgence in the upcoming Regulation H format, but that's for after the World Championships.
That's exciting.
Do not miss out on that opportunity for a free Sylveon. Everyone loves Sylveon, Gabby, so might as well get
True. Sylveon is the GOAT.
You can also check out some of the incredible music from this weekend at the World Championships over on Spotify. And I have a challenge for all y'all at home. Every single song has a musical motif that reminds you of the Alola region from Pokemon Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So if you haven't picked up on those yet, you can hear the VG song in the background, something to remember. I'll give you a hint. You might want to look around.
Oh, I don't even know the answer on this.
It's all right. Listen to it later. I've been playing it nonstop all weekend. It's actually pretty bad.
Honestly,
yes, Nate and the people who wrote the song and recorded all the music this weekend have been incredible. So again, please listen to that if you haven't already.
Is that Looker music? Looker's motif?
Said, though, it's been an exciting weekend, and you still have time to showcase all of your incredible memories from this World Championship.
Worlds is in Spain just to prove Joe wrong. It'd be funny.
On social media,
I know it won't happen, but
you might see your or post featured.
I just love proving people wrong.
Yeah, that's always one of the most exciting things. Everybody coming together, rooting for their.
No, they're not talking about Luker coming back. They're just talking about the music.
Somebody whose story you
As like, I think it's called Luker's music.
Over the course of the weekend, use that hashtag Pokemon Worlds to let us know who you're going to be rooting for here in these 3 upcoming VG matches.
I hope Mega Gallade comes back and doesn't get sharpness.
Worlds myself to post our selfie. Yeah. No, I also took a little bit of a tour around the area this morning.
I hate it, dude.
We did
I
have
hate
a
it.
bit of a later call time for once, and I got to walk around the Hilton.
It's like, yes, there's
Hawaiian
other
Village, where we
stats
have
than
many
physical attack.
Pokemon
It's not a
activations.
contrarian
They had
moment.
a
It's
stage
I don't think
there
it
where
needs
you
sharpness.
could
It's a
actually
fucking
watch
Mega
the finals.
Gallade.
So shout outs to anybody watching us.
It's a
over at
fucking
the
Mega
Hilton
Gallade.
right
It doesn't
now.
need sharpness.
Also, they had
Inner
the player
focus is
level
good.
there, so you could learn how to play the video game, the trading card game, or Pokemon
It
Unite.
gains other
I think
stats
there
when
was
it
a
Mega
line of
evolves.
people
Did you know
waiting to
that?
meet Bear Walker, which was kind of cool. And there was also like a stamp.
I think we're gonna get something, yeah.
Opportunities. It's really, really cool.
It's Worlds.
So,
I think we always get
You
something.
can still check out if you're in the area and you're looking for something.
It's
to
literally
do
got base
after
165 attack. It doesn't fucking need
One of the things
sharpness.
I love about the Pokemon World Championships and how our games and our communities and our events are growing every single year is the additional things. Obviously, we're here for the love of the game, whether it's any of the.
The difference
Pokemon
isn't that big.
broadcasts this weekend, whichever one is your favorite, and you want to see it here live in person. But all of those additional things that you mentioned. it
Somebody
feels
help
like
me,
Pokemon's
please.
Taking over Honolulu, and everybody's really a part of the celebration, no matter where you go.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
never mind, it is
Pokemon
that big.
has always felt like a family to me. So being able to see Pokemon.
That's just for
really
slicing
embrace
moves, though.
Red
I used to
Sea,
watch
Honolulu,
you like
thank
8
you
years
to
ago.
everybody,
Oh,
of course,
hello.
for hospitality, but also to see the Pokemon people give
How's it
back.
going?
We had that Genki ball toss the other
Itachi.
day, which are little mud balls that contain microorganisms that actually eat sludge. So we
Sacred Blade? What the fuck is
there were
Sacred
a bunch of
Blade?
people who made them and then threw them into the river to help clean it up and, you know, make the world a little bit of a better place. So there's a lot going on here this weekend. It ain't all just video game battles.
No, yeah, honestly, there's a lot of really cool stuff. This is my first time coming to Hawaii. I know we've held.
Can we just talk about sharpness Mega Gallade?
Championships in different parts of Hawaii. The
Mega
third
Gallade
time
with sharpness literally has
maybe
706
the charm
attack.
that we finally get to be here and
With
see
slicing
live
moves.
in person. But anytime you get to travel,
That is
it's always a blessing, Gabby, that we
fucking
can go
absurd
around the world
and
telling
unnecessary.
stories of all the best trainers, playing in our game.
Indeed, indeed. So while we are waiting,
With me and
for
Vinny,
our
I mean,
finals to get started, I
we don't
do
really
want to
make
take a
similar
moment and
content,
maybe
but
recap a little bit of what we've seen from this tournament so far. For anybody at home who's just watching,
if he ever wants me on a
for the first
YouTube
time.
short, I'd be
So
down.
as y'all may know, we are playing in a single restricted format. I think a lot of people were expecting Calyrex Shadow Riders
Yeah,
to do very well.
that's why I don't like that Pokerogue gave it sharpness, because they're like, oh, we can assume that Game Freak would give it sharpness if it was released today. No, we can't. No, we can't. It's got base 165 attack. Are you fucking kidding me? That's one complaint I have about Pokerogue. They gave Mega Gallade sharpness.
At least in the Masters division, restricted, but I feel like
It gains other stats. You guys know that, right? It gets more speed. It gets more bulk.
I feel like Miraidon was on there at least half the time. It was so popular, which means that the top players were performing well with that restricted.
I agree, and I think that it was a very natural.
Yeah, that's part of it, but they also said they can assume the Mega Gallade. I'm pretty sure they said that.
In preparation for the World Championships, Miraidon just has so much power. You can offset all of that additional bulk by just dealing more damage.
Yeah, 110 speed is nothing to scoff at.
Like usually when I leave the World Championships, I always try out the teams that do well, so I can get some experience and try out new things. But with Regulation H on the horizon, part of me wants to try out a Miraidon team, but then at the same time, it's like, well, I need to learn Regulation H though.
But it'll give you preparation for next season.
Nah, I think it would just give him huge power.
Formats rotate. That's so far down the road. We don't have to worry about that. But I think I might throw my hat in the ring for a couple of Iron Treads matches. Just
honestly, that'd be funny, Volcanon.
Think about all of the Iron Pokemon that have kind of just been in the shadows of the past Paradox Pokemon that we've been using.
Oh yeah, it's got really good special defense.
Seasons, and they've come out in full force, pretty much in help with the help of their best buddy Miraidon activating their Quark Drive abilities. But
115. I mean, it remains the same.
We've seen Iron Jugulus win regional.
That's a lot more defense, though.
Iron Valiant is a Pokemon in the Masters Finals, has the potential to become a world champion. The future Paradox Pokemon have showed up big.
Yep.
I think that was exactly a
Regular Glade, Mega Glade, both 115.
of Miraidon.
It gains
Magnetic
30
Rocks,
more
if you will,
defense,
though I don't think you
40
actually
more
use a
attack.
move on
Wait,
that
40 or
Pokemon.
it's
But
40 more attack.
It's really interesting to see people
30 more
look at the
defense,
metagame coming into
20
this
more
tournament
speed.
and trying to build their teams around, okay, what do I expect to see and how are cool ways that I can encounter those Pokemon in ways that maybe aren't expected by everybody else if you're facing. At the end of the day,
Yeah,
there's
sharpness,
only two
Mega Glade, I
trainers
guess.
remaining at this point in the competition for each of our age divisions, and if you want to be one of those two trainers, you need to give yourself an advantage in any way possible. And having that surprise factor, maybe training your Pokemon to take an attack that normally you wouldn't expect it to, is just so important when you're at
I
this
can't
level of
remember. Hi, Pop. How's it going?
Yeah, and I think from the perspective of our juniors division match,
I think someone mentioned Mega Glade having sharpness, and that kind of, that's a soft spot for me.
Traveling around the world and
Thank you, Poppy.
competing to be the best trainer in my division, like our two finalists are. Traveling with my family, with my my brothers and sisters and moms.
So
and
true,
everybody
Shuckle
supporting
King.
me at such a young age.
No, let's do. Let's just, dude, just give him huge power.
Juniors finalists are, but also how
People were like, "Oh, I don't think you should balance a game around thematics," and I'm just like, "All right, let's just give everything the best ability then. If there's no thematics, what the fuck? Shut up! You're stupid. That's stupid. It's a stupid idea. And yeah, let's just give everything fucking huge power because thematics aren't real, I guess." Dude, it's Professor Sada.
For your first competitor from the United States, Kevin Hahn.
Hello. Hello, kitty cat.
And from Japan, Tatsuomi Shimanuki.
Yep. Sada, I love the Sada cosplay. Pokerogue has Protein Scrap Day, which I don't like. It's the Gen 6 protein as well. I don't like it. And someone was like, "Oh, we'll just give Scrap Day Pickpocket because thematics, right?" And I'm like, yes, please. I would rather have Pickpocket than Protein.
What will be the most important thing for you to do in your play?
I think the most important thing
Anyways,
to do is to
Worlds.
stay calm, and even if I lose the game, I have to not get tilted.
Yes, don't get tilted, young man.
Yeah, staying calm, not getting tilted. Great advice for yourself. Good job, Kevin. All right, and same question for you. What do you need to do in order to win this match? Go ahead and use it.
そうですね。この試合で優勝するために何が一番重要なんですか。
EA とかのポケモンたちをうまく使いこなすことが重要だと思います。
Most important thing is that he uses his Pokemon.
Look at that height difference.
That's a great advice as well. All right,
Look at
let's
that
hear
height
from our two
difference.
competitors. We cannot wait to watch them play. Thanks so much. Go ahead
Dude,
and take
this is so funny.
Let's get this match started.
Dude, I want the little guy to win.
Thank you.
I'm voting for the little guy. Let's go.
This should be a really fun start to the VG section of the Championship Sunday. Kevin and Tatsuomi are two very accomplished trainers in the juniors division. We're looking at the
I don't like Protein. I don't think it's thematic. It doesn't
I
fit.
think this should be an explosive matchup between these two juniors.
And what's so exciting for me is that both these juniors are here with their families. Tatsunomi actually competed alongside of his brother
Don't be weird.
yesterday in the juniors division. Kevin and his brother
It's time to go full screen mode.
prepared for the tournament together last night. Chris also a regional champion, so we might have
an
international champion.
God
So
damn.
really, we might have a bit of a new Pokemon family rising here from both sides of the field.
Yeah, it was really great getting to talk to both these trainers backstage before, seeing how confident they were, seeing how excited they were, and seeing how excited their family was backstage supporting them. But the first thing I got to say out here, Gabby, with Kevin Hahn in particular, I mean, this is potentially the start of a huge run. We'll get into the accomplishments as we get prepared. But one of the big accomplishments is Kevin Hahn normally routinely takes down Masters Divisions players at our locals.
Oh, wow.
He's not from Jersey technically, so I can't claim him, but he lives close enough to Jersey to participate at our NJ locals. I've definitely taken an L too,
All right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Tatsuomi, I'm rooting for you, man. We got Chiyu, Rilla,
Kevin too. So
okay, I gotta root against the horses, man. Horses suck. Got 2 fire dark types on the fire dark types just go crazy, it seems.
Calyrex Ice Rider, which is the same restricted he won the North American International.
I'm rooting for Zamazenta.
Against Tatsuomi's
My goat.
Zamazenta. Now you may look at this team and think it looks a little bit familiar.
Treads too? Wait, yeah, Treads is interesting.
In the Masters division, but that Iron Treads, I know you mentioned it earlier, Joe, because you were so excited. What a crazy Pokemon to see on a unique team like this.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think even Michael Kelch is going to be using Iron Treads. We actually saw it multiple times on stream this weekend, and it definitely makes sense.
Dude, every time I watch Worlds, it makes me want to play VGC. I just don't have the time.
Has a lot of utility. We'll see if it comes to this matchup. But looking at these accomplishments, Kevin Hahn, the reigning EUIC and NAIC champion.
Oh wow, he's the EUIC champion? Holy shit.
Quite the trifecta if he
oh my god.
with the Worlds win.
Not only that,
yo, this guy's going on a tear.
7-time regional champion. We could only fit one on the graphic, so he was asked to pick his favorite regional championship, and it was Fort Wayne in 2023 because that was the same.
They could only fit one on the screen. That's insane.
So they had a nice family win there. Kevin looking to continue winning here on an incredible
oh my
streak.
god,
winning
dude.
the European and the North American International Championships back-to-back in a season is an incredible accomplishment. His opponent, though, Tatsuomi, was able to win a round 1 bye in this competition by placing top.
These are these juniors?
But we'll have to face
right?
down
It's juniors, seniors, masters.
Opponent. Once again, Calyrex Ice Rider pretty expected on this team, but with the other Pokemon, Kevin's giving himself a lot of options. He can respond to really.
Junior division is for 12 and under. Senior is 13 to 15, and then Masters is 16 and over.
Kevin Hahn's strategies, as he has pretty much been able to iterate upon his team over the.
That's insane, dude.
Similar Pokemon that he's used to win other international.
Yeah, Fergraph's good. Fergraph, Wolfie was using Fergraph. Fergraph's good. That's probably the mon I'm most excited about being good. Fergraph is awesome.
EUIC and NAIC champion, ready to become world champ.
If this is juniors, then this is
running a team that was inspired.
This is 12 and under.
Parents must be loaded. I'm at Worlds and Tyra's tons of kids here.
Earlier on this year.
Actually, 7 months, Phillips.
Iron Treads is certainly a very unique adaptation, like we were talking about earlier. But his Tornadus has a couple of.
Oh, me too, man. These kids are fucking crazy.
Sunny Day and Rain Dance, as you can see on the screen now. The Chi-Yu with the choice specs being able to deal a huge amount of damage. Rillaboom with Assault Vest. I think overall this team plays very similarly in this matchup compared to what we saw yesterday when we saw Calyrex Ice Rider.
How do you just get that good at Pokemon that young? It's crazy.
I'm sure the Tornadus and the
I didn't even know what fucking EVs were when I was like 9.
Pokemon for Tatsuomi when he was playing Miraidons in Swiss.
And I do think on Tatsuomi's end, the Zamazenta is really in a premier position. This is what you do.
I'm rooting for this team. Let's go, little man.
To fill out the cores, making Zamazenta as well-rounded of a Pokemon as it can
Tatsuomi.
be. So important.
A formidable family. Tatsuomi's brother claimed 29th place at World Championship this year.
His brother, as you mentioned, also
pretty
played
good.
The game at 29th at the World Championships last year. So two family pedigrees here, championship pedigrees.
Zamazenta's pretty heavy.
And I do want to shout out.
I'm sure he's stoked for his younger brother being in finals, dude.
Horsey, and there's actually a Horsey there on stage cheering him on, which is super exciting. But these trainers are getting into team preview. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the options here that both these trainers
I think he's got Vish. He's got Mr. Vish.
From Tatsuomi, I'm not personally.
I like that they get to bring plushies up with them.
Or the Iron
I think, right?
Turn 1, game 1 of this juniors finals.
Ugh.
So I would not be surprised to see him go with a very safe lead of the Zamazenta and the Rillaboom to give himself options to respond to Kevin's team.
We love an underdog story. I feel like Kevin is just so.
There's so many different ways he could approach that matchup. I think it's very.
He's just got so much like writing. Like he's crazy. He's got so many accomplishments.
I should give myself options.
Right, for sure. And I think on Kevin's end, it's going to be so important to make sure that Tatsuomi's Zamazenta is not comfortable. We see so many times on stream, if a Zamazenta can sit on the stage, click Terra Dragon, click Body Press every every turn and really not be threatened whatsoever from getting knocked out.
They make them play each other?
Too much damage over
Oh yeah, this
time.
is Worlds. This is the finals of juniors, I think.
That will threaten the Zamazenta.
The paper, it's to take notes, I think, and also it's open team sheet, so they get to see each other's teams, but they don't get to see the EVs or the IVs, but they get to see each other's. They get to see each other's teams.
Championships in Honolulu. The crowd is hype. We're gonna have Calyrex, Ice Rider, Incineroar for the lead in Game 1, and Kevin Hans and Tatsuomi Shimanuki.
No, they're not brothers.
Rillaboom with the spectator mode too.
I know,
The guy on the right has an older brother that came 29th in a higher division.
How incredible the crowd looks.
No, I think you get to see items. You get to see Terra type. There's a lot you get to see.
This Incineroar is a great supporting option for the Calyrex, but is going to be a bit slower typically than the opposing Rillaboom.
Oh yeah, the finals background.
For fake out on both sides of the field. My big question for Kevin is he?
Nah, I think open team sheet is fine for VGC. I get why.
Calyrex Ice Rider
I get why they've done it.
Slower than both of the Pokemon on Tatsuomi's side of the field. Does seem like a great opportunity here to try and use it either this turn or next turn. As of right now, the Zamazenta does not have enough attack power to take it out in one hit.
Yeah, I think the Trick Room really does make a lot of sense, Gabby, because looking at Tatsuomi's team, Zamazenta, fastest thing out of all the Pokemon. Choice Scarf on the Chi-Yu as well. The Tornadus is also super fast. Iron Tread's an incredibly fast Pokemon that Kevin Han might be able to twist the dimensions and switch up the narrative. But for now, it will be Terra Ghost.
Oh, why is it? Okay. Twitch is having a moment. But I was gonna say, I don't agree.
First turn here, Kevin using Terra right away. Tatsuomi protecting the Zamazenta, doesn't want to take it.
What Blockin said though, it makes it less RNG and more skill based.
Rillaboom goes to the fake out, but it's into the protect on Calyrex, so Kevin doesn't take any damage.
Makes it more skill based.
And now it's time for a parting shot, but it goes towards the protect. So
listen, I'm for main series Pokemon games, I hate spreadsheet simulator, but
on an Incineroar, you assume that it is there to stop fake out. Once you are a ghost type Pokemon, normal type attacks don't work. But fighting type attacks don't work either. And in the Zamazenta matchup in particular, if you can afford to use the terrestrialization on your Incineroar,
it's crazy. It shows you grassy terrain 4 more turns up there. Can actual Pokemon games do that? Like,
and what's better than not taking damage?
Come on now. I don't know if that's in game or if that's just like
as you pointed out, Joe Brown, this Incineroar knows
layout, but
that would be such an amazing move for Kevin in this turn.
Right onto either of Tatsuomi's Pokemon here that are both physical attackers. Yes, Body Press uses the defense stat instead of your attack stat, but it would still work pretty well. Here's the double target with the grassy terrain boost from the Woodhammer. It's not enough to take out Calyrex Ice Rider. One of the bulky.
What do you mean it doesn't change anything? Damn, him getting bird sucks.
Tatsuomi Zamazenta. So now it is burned. It will be doing half of the damage from its attacks.
Wolfie made a really good video about it, Volcanron. But basically, the main issue is
Pokemon will move first, and that's bad news for Tatsuomi.
It is bad news for Tatsuomi.
If you go on stream and your team gets revealed,
some plays he can make here. While the Rillaboom
it's putting you at a disadvantage. People would go out of their way before open team sheet was a thing. People would go out of their way to find out Wolfie's team the best they could, and they would tell his next opponent, "Oh, this is his team. This is how you beat it." So open team sheet just puts everyone on an even playing field.
Another Woodhammer into that
so it's.
We saw that it didn't do as much damage as one would assume.
It's unfortunate, but it's the best way to go about it. It puts everyone on the same playing field. You don't get to do underhanded tactics like that. About asking like, "Oh, what's Wolfie's team?" You know.
Swap into Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt, one of the Pokemon that has taken competitive Pokemon by storm over the last half year.
But I mean, surprise gimmick bullshit is just surprise gimmick bullshit. It's not actual like. Like if you're actually a good player, you can still surprise someone with something.
Lowering its attack and special attack by one stage, but of course,
like if you're actually good at Mons, you wouldn't have to rely on gimmick bullshit.
On the other end, it's still going to be a solid defensive swap for Kevin.
It is, and it also gives
stream a different team. That's not. That's not how it works, though.
The field once the damage has been lowered even.
I was the same way. I didn't like open team sheet at first, but like it really does make sense.
Also means that
and like I'm for it now.
Take any damage from that switch. Essentially swap.
Wolfie made a good video on his second channel if you want to check that out.
Right, and now Tatsuomi's gonna have to
Yeah, if you're gonna rely on surprises to win, then are you really that good?
in the back that are all generally speedy.
You're gonna be gimmicky to win? Are you really that good? No.
The other three are pretty fast Pokemon that would not be working quickly under Trick Room.
Exactly, and I do want to take a moment to talk about the overall positioning of Kevin in this Trick Room right now as he sends in the Iron Treads. Joe, he brought it!
Big Treads.
Iron Treads is essentially anti-Miraidon, anti-Raging Bolt. They're both
Look at
electric dragon types. You're immune to
Look at this
electric as
guy.
a ground type, and you resist dragon as a steel type. So Tatsuomi doesn't care if it's going to be moving slower on the
Listen,
Trick Room. He knows he's
I love
only
draft
going to
because
take
of
any damage from
the
either
fun things that you can come up with.
Meteor.
And
But it's for fun. It's not for money.
I think he has to make a very defensive play here, either by
You want it to be as
switching
skill
out one
based
of
as you
these
can.
Pokemon, or by letting them get KO'd this turn, most likely from
And
an
plus,
attack
like,
from
you
that
get to have
Iron
fun with
Tread.
EVs. They don't know your
And if
EV
you
spread.
send in your Incineroar
You can build a
Cancer
Pokemon a
directly
specific
onto
way, and
it
that will
directly
catch them
with
off guard.
Will-O-Wisp. It's a very unique Pokemon that I don't think
That's what
he's
Wolfie does.
encountered
Wolfie
throughout
literally
his
just
run
builds his
here at the
Pokemon
World
weird.
Championships. So let's see how he's going to plan a strategy around the huge threat that it brings.
And you have to wonder what Tatsuomi's strategy is on which Pokemon to terrestrialize here in Game 1. As Zamazenta's had some damage mitigation from the burn, might not be as valuable. You turn into a Dragon type, and you'll be very weak to both of Kevin's Pokemon. So maybe it's up to this Iron Treads or Rillaboom later on in this Game 1 to terrestrialize and change the dynamic. It will be just to protect, though.
Yeah, they do know the moves.
On Kevin's end, as well as Iron Treads protecting. So if Zamazenta went for the protect, it wouldn't work. But of course, goes for a body press, not doing any damage.
Good information all around for these trainers. In addition, by double protecting there, Kevin ensures that he can target down attacks into that Iron Treads when it doesn't have protect available to it. A little bit strange to be double protecting throughout your own Trick Room, but I think given the Pokemon on the field, more information is better. You can see how your opponent
In a
wants to
perfect world,
use that
people
Iron
could
Treads,
just, you know,
and then you can again adjust to the game
play
in hand.
with whatever they want, but
Steel types on the other end,
gotta have
facing
rules,
down
regulations.
Kevin's Raging Bolt. So these Draco Meteors, even if they are boosted from the booster energy increasing its special attack stat, would still be resisted. Tatsuomi making a big call on this turn to swap that Iron Treads back out into the Rillaboom. High horsepower.
Nice.
The ground type is now resisted, so a really smart call.
Oh, doubles.
But the Draco connects. It hits Rillaboom.
Rilla lives.
Hands on in the red. The double target does not get the KO. And
That does
body
nothing,
press
dude.
will hit into the Calyrex, bringing it a little bit lower.
There is one more turn of Trick Room remaining now, and the Rillaboom has access to Fake Out once again to flinch either of the Pokemon on Kevin's side of the field. So even
It's just
though Tatsuomi's own
stalling Fake Out,
Zamazenta
stalling Trick Room.
fell short of doing any significant damage that turn, it is in such a prime position here. You can wide.
Oh yeah, no, I'm the same way, dude. I like VGC a lot, but there's like infinite possibilities, dude. Infinite.
Attack to either of the Pokemon on the
So much
side of the
harder
field,
than
and
singles.
Rillaboom opts to go for Fake Out. Tatsuomi is almost guaranteed to make it through this Trick Room relatively unharmed.
Calyrex will swap out in this position, so a little bit worried about a Fake Out going into that slot. And now that Incineroar with the Terra Ghost, it would be immune to the Fake Out if that's what.
Predict it, lol, man. Predict it. Predict it.
Really smart play.
Oh, the double switch.
He get another advantage here on the last turn of Trick Room. Kevin revealing Urshifu Rapid Strike, so he's shown off all four Pokemon he brought in game
no
1.
Fake Out.
Smartly
Okay.
does not click the Fake Out. Instead, uses that momentum to U-turn out.
Go.
One strategy that has been popular in Pokemon for almost an eternity at this point is this idea that as long as you can keep switching your Pokemon in and out on the field, you can reposition, you can respond to whatever threats your opponent brings.
Okay,
and with the reveal
huge.
of that Chi-Yu from Tatsuomi, there is so much damage potential from him on the field right now. Kevin is almost forced to target down that Pokemon with
Surging Strikes is yeah, priority.
It can now do super effective damage to the Incineroar and can also threaten huge damage.
I agree. Singles would be nice.
Ice Rider with a fire
I'm with you, man.
Right, and the Urshifu is so crucial.
Maybe they'll expand
for Kevin because the
VGC singles, and I mean it's just a lot to do because there's already like 3 divisions for VGC, TCG, Pokemon Go. I mean they could add it though.
Trying to click and attack this turn.
I'd love to do singles.
Will swap out.
Raging Bolt will take the field once
It's a
again.
revolving door of Pokemon.
Terastallization
Oh wait, Chi-Yu gonna
from
Terra?
Tatsuomi. It is the Chi-Yu
Of course.
Terastallizing into the ghost type.
Good. Now he's not weak to fucking strikes.
A very spooky start to our juniors final.
Yep.
Surging strikes now means it is just a neutral hit.
You can take that, right?
Super effective. So
Yeah.
these 3 critical hits are not going to be enough to take out the Chi-Yu on this turn. Tatsuomi really playing smartly in game 1. Body press follow-up.
Okay.
Shifu not enough.
And a Dark Pulse now from that Chi-Yu into the Raging Bolt. Almost takes it out in a
Jesus.
single hit. And that is the power of the combination of Choice Specs and the Beads of Ruin ability. It means your special attacks do so much damage, even though Chi-Yu locked
Yeah,
into
exactly,
a single
Volcanon.
target attack.
I was struggling in Pokerogue.
Given the
I was
opportunity
struggling
to attack
against.
easily KO
Can
the
you get them?
Urshifu or this
Hey,
Raging
go.
Bolt.
I was struggling against like Team Flare Grunts in a double battle, but like Lysander in a single battle was so much easier.
Still naturally faster, and we did
I just need to think more in doubles, and I'd rather just click buttons. I probably could get good at doubles. I just don't enjoy it as much, but I would love to. I would love to learn.
Assumes the Chi-Yu will be attacking again this turn.
I'm surprised he didn't Surging Strikes. I mean, I guess he just doesn't want his. I guess he needs it. That makes sense.
Urshifu was hit by a body press the last 2 consecutive turns. So now Kevin anticipated
That makes sense. That checks out.
that slot. Now
Ooh.
he will be immune to it as a ghost type. Tatsuomi being on the advantage instead of clicking a Dark Pulse yet again will swap into the Rillaboom.
Preserving?
Resetting up the grassy terrain, helping his Zamazenta recover. Just
Oh, I think they will block-ins.
every single turn. But the body press goes towards Raging Bolt for the knockout. He knew that
Okay.
the target near Shifu slot and gets rewarded KOing Raging Bolt.
Okay.
Raging Bolt opted to Thunderclap that Zamazenta so it could attack before being knocked out. Zamazenta has so much health, it wouldn't have mattered. Tatsuomi said this when we were talking to him before the game. He loves bulky Pokemon. He loves having the ability to stay on the field and take all of these hits. And even though this Zamazenta was weakened by an Intimidate, was weakened by a Burn, it is still doing enough damage thanks to the time it has to make a huge difference in his game plan.
Now this Calyrex is already down to about 1/3 of its HP.
It's just 2 different games, and it's so cool that you can have 2 different games within Pokemon. You know, it's super cool.
Is very close to being knocked out. Losing Raging Bolt, who does so much damage on Kevin's end. It's such a difficult position here in game 1.
It is. That all being said, though, with the combination of Urshifu and Calyrex still available at this moment in time, I think Kevin has a little bit of options here. This Urshifu has the Choice Scarf, like we were talking about earlier, but it also has Coaching, which means there's a way to power up this Calyrex. One thing you could consider doing here after a turn of Fake Out and maybe even setting up Trick Room again is to try.
I'm pretty sure Intimidate does affect body press.
Make a bigger difference in this matchup.
Rillaboom just clicking U-turn almost as if it's choice locked into it, but it's not. Consistently, Rillaboom swaps onto the field as a defensive pivot, and then he'll U-turn.
Oh no, I'm thinking of Bird.
In the back, revealing the Iron Treads yet again.
Sorry.
It's been a while, but it looks pretty
I was like, no, this Zamazenta is cooked. It's the Burn I'm thinking of.
Got to bring his Calyrex on the field and set Trick Room up for a second time in game 1.
It is a second time, but again, there's so much damage on the field, and I'm not sure if Kevin can match that damage from Tatsuomi. Calyrex Ice Rider did manage to twist the dimensions in its favor, which means it will be able to attack first. But like you were saying, Joe, this Iron Treads will be able to take
the burn
from it quite comfortably.
Yeah, it's the burn affects it because it's still a physical move, and burn cuts physical damage. Not attack, it cuts physical damage. So that's the way it's around.
From attacking, or you can continue to use those body pressures to just wear down the HP of your opponent.
Well, Kevin has protected his Calyrex Ice Rider on the turn. Knockoff goes into that protect. Tatsuomi
Dude, this battle's coming down to the wire. It's so interesting seeing the timers. Like, Tatsuomi's timer was going down so much faster. Now Kevin's timer is catching up because Kevin's more on the back foot now. He's got to think. He's got to think more. Seeing the timer difference is crazy. This is just round 1. We've got so long to go.
Start looking at how Kevin can go on the offense in this matchup. Iron Treads is certainly the bigger enemy here, as with grassy terrain active on the field, you can utilize Steel Roller. It's a steel type attack. It has a very high base power, but it only works when there's terrain on the field. It'll also remove the terrain.
Wait, look at the people in the background. Some of them are like squished.
Zamazenta and think, well, he could appreciate some healing. You know, you're going to be taking damage over time thanks to the burn. However, I think in this scenario, you don't necessarily mind losing your terrain because it's going to stop your opponent's Pokemon from recovering as well. But it looks like Iron Treads is just content to keep waiting out this Trick Room.
Iron Treads really
Hazards is really good at Smog on doubles, but that's because you used all 6 Mons. Tank? But 1 HP! No. I mean, that's good though. It doesn't knock off the Zam.
Goes down with what will be 1 turn of grassy terrain remaining.
That is
what a
crazy.
Survival from the Rillaboom there. The hit from Body Press will bring Calyrex down low, but just because of that burn from so many turns ago, Gabby, it's really not doing enough damage.
That's a very common strategy when facing off against Zamazenta as well. You lock in the Ghost type Terastallization on your Incineroar, so it'll really struggle to deal damage. You put a burn onto that Zamazenta, so it will struggle to deal damage to everything else on your team, and you kind of wait it out. That being said though, with the juxtaposition of the Iron Treads right next to it, all you have to do this turn is double protect, Trick Room ends.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Able to go on the offense and really threaten some huge damage.
Raging Bolt and Tornadus aren't there.
So he doesn't take any damage from
And Ferrograph and Rilla aren't there.
Power goes into Iron Head's protect, as well as Incineroar's knockoff there. So you can see that's
this game is literally just chess. They're literally just playing chess right now, dude. Yeah, I agree. It should be a bit darker.
A massive threat.
It is, and now that the Twisted Dimensions have returned to normal,
It's a nice layout though. It's pretty.
Iron Treads is going to be one of the fastest Pokemon.
Yeah, Iron Treads is relatively fast. Yeah.
To avoid damage this turn, you can certainly protect for a turn, but that's not going to necessarily help you navigate the situation any better. I think you have to go on the offense. Just try and land as much damage into that Iron
That's fair.
as possible, and then also start setting things up so that your Choice Scarf
Dude, the timer
in the back, or excuse me, Choice Scarf.
Yeah, is Treads like one? I thought Treads like. Hold on.
There's the high horsepower. It's super effective, but it's not enough. He hangs on. Incineroar going first because of Trick Room. Double target means Iron Treads. All of those turns.
106 speed.
Mending didn't get any attacks off. The Life Orb being knocked off as
Make sure you like stream, by the way, guys.
Because of the prior health recovery from the grassy terrain turns, Calyrex hangs through the hit.
And now Trick Room has
106.
ended. And now it's just the Zamazenta and the Chi-Yu standing on the field for Kevin. Or for Tatsuomi. Kevin still has a full health Incineroar, but it is going to be taking super effective damage from the Chi-Yu's dark type attacks. And there, of course, is that Zamazenta as well still for Tatsuomi. That being said, though, the victory conditions for Kevin are starting to look good. All you have to do is take out that Chi-Yu, and the Zamazenta is just going to struggle to deal damage.
There's 3 minutes left here in this game 1. That is how long and back and forth this battle between these juniors has gone.
Yeah.
Dark Pulse though into the Ghost inside the one hit KO.
I love that little graphic they do.
Boosted damage from this Pokemon is just so difficult. The Terra Ghost that helped Kevin on turn 1 is costing him late in the game.
That Terra Ghost is not as safe to make if there is a Pokemon like Chi-Yu in the back. So that is an adjustment that Kevin will have to make going into game 2 of this.
Can Zamazenta 1v1 them? I think Zamazenta's got this. Because Urshifu,
something like Dark Pulse to knock out your own Calyrex Ice Rider, but it's at such low health. There is no more.
Urshifu takes out Chi-Yu.
Another Body Press honestly should do it.
Can Zamazenta 1v1 them?
Strikes from Urshifu knocking out this Terra Ghost Chi-Yu, who did so much work for Tatsuomi here in the game 1, getting that huge one.
Does he go for Urshifu first?
But I don't know if it's gonna last
Because Urshifu can actually damage him? No? He goes for this? That makes sense.
Into the Calyrex, takes it down. Finally, it felt like he's been clicking Body Press for literally 18 minutes, and he finally gets rewarded.
Well, technically, with 3 minutes remaining, your math is not far off there, Joe.
I mean, this could literally go on for 3 hours.
Final 2 Pokemon
even
here.
longer.
Urshifu will continue to move first, and we will
Yeah.
continue to see these surging strikes connect 3 times with the Zamazenta. It looks like it's going to take 1 more surging strikes to lock in that KO here. Let's see how it does.
Come on, please.
Give Kevin the win. No! Urshifu can't take the body press. And Tatsuo
My goat.
Shimanuki is going to win.
I'm actually stoked. My goat.
Game 1.
Bulky Pokemon indeed.
Absolutely.
That Zamazenta was incredible. It showed
That was
up
hype,
on
dude.
the field turn 1, and it didn't leave, even though it was burned, even though it was
Now
intimidated.
Zamazenta just sat there the whole time, dude.
Was not afraid of anything that Kevin had to bring into that battle. And the way that Tatsuomi almost
I'm rooting for Tatsuomi, man. He's got such a cool team. I love his team.
into terastallizing that Incineroar to handle the Zamazenta matchup better, only to bring the Chiyu was such an amazing call in that game.
Fat dog indeed.
That's one of the things that Kevin is going to be prepared for here in game 2, to hold your horses a little bit with the Calyrex team on Terastallize.
Yeah, this could literally be like another like 3-4 hours, this event. If like every team goes to like, because it's 20 minutes per battle, plus all the fluff in between, and all the like, this could literally go on for like another 3-4 hours, dude.
Pokemon can provide to your side of the field. I feel like maybe you saving your terastallization flexibility just like he did could be the key in game 2.
It could be the key in game 2 as well. I also think when we're talking about adjustments, you have to just look at how heavily board positioning came into play between both of these trainers.
I mean, could he just get rid of it? Zamazenta's not really a mon you just get rid of, unfortunately.
Attack for the Iron Treads. We also saw just how Kevin zoned in on that Iron Treads turn after
How's it going,
turn
Jade?
in the Twisted Dimensions. I think
How
that's
you
something
doing?
that Tatsuomi can continue to use to his advantage.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
showcase
knockoff
that
damage
Iron
could have been
Treads
crucial.
early on, make sure that Kevin's thinking about it, and then use that to influence how the board is going to progress throughout game 2.
I'm also really wondering, I don't believe it would have mattered, but I think that Rillaboom hang-on was so crucial because that knockoff would have targeted Zamazenta. Yes, it is a resisted attack, so it wouldn't do too much damage, but it's not like Zamazenta ended the game with too much hit points remaining anyway. So just Rillaboom, even if it didn't get many attacks off, just that health recovery, the fake-out pressure, the U-turn positioning is just so crucial for Tatsuomi in game 1.
It's 2:25
I
a.m.
love how Rillaboom has become this support titan in the Regulation G. Honestly, it seems like Rillaboom is more useful than Incineroar in a format, which is something I never thought I would say coming into this weekend. Just because being able to provide flinch support, being able to pivot and deal some damage, and also to be able to heal
I've not
your
slapped yet.
partners is so huge. You see it mattering a lot more in matchups against Pokemon like Miraidon, where the terrain adds another
Oh, you mean
level of
Hawaii?
strategy you need
Yeah.
to manage throughout everything. But still, overall, a very powerful Pokemon, giving Zamazenta that support and really taking all those hits for the Iron Treads.
What a back and forth game 1 that was, really going down to the wire and down to the timer almost because of how long the decisions took every turn. You had so many U-turn swaps and many other decisions that they made along the way. So many double protects as well. Remember, we went through 2 full Twisted Dimensions. That hardly ever happens in VGC.
It does, and I also noticed as well that Kevin was doing a fantastic job throughout.
That's a really good team. I like his team a lot.
managing when he needed to use Trick Room to the advantage of the Calyrex Ice Rider, and when he needed to double protect to stall out his own Trick Room so that he can enable the other Pokemon on his team. It just shows how comfortable he is with this restricted Pokemon, which makes sense. He was on
Nothing to be disappointed about. The horses are crazy, dude.
win thanks to the help of Calyrex Ice Rider.
We are assuming there might be some sort of trailer at the end of this event.
Against the wall here in Honolulu. Kevin started Swiss 1 and 2 and was very stressed, but his brother Chris gave him the confidence he needed to continue on through the day, winning those next 5 rounds, winning his top cut matches 2-0 as we mentioned.
Oh wow, he was literally 1 and 2.
Kevin
That's
is
crazy.
Any of the juniors trainers here in Honolulu, Kevin's certainly one of them that can make a comeback.
For sure, and also all of that
He's the comeback king.
as well, winning multiple regionals titles.
I would love to go to. I had Joe from Walmart. I'd love to go to Worlds even just to watch, just to meet people, watch people play. I don't know about participating,
really prior to that,
I'd have to like pivot my content to be like VGC because I'd be spending a lot of time playing.
A couple of opportunities that people from that region have, but still, this could be his opportunity to write his name in the stars along with all of our other world champions this weekend. As we're gonna go ahead and jump.
Rooms
into
are a
game
whole
number
other
2.
field effect. Group out. People don't give a shit about one.
Juniors division world champion here in Honolulu, but Kevin.
Wait, what do you mean? Like Rassi Search?
To say about that, it will be Incineroar and Calyrex Ice Rider as the lead for Kevin in game 2.
I think it's just that there's no other setters for the terrains, really.
Big adjustment here from Tatsuomi as the presence of the Chi-Yu threatens away the ghost
right, those rooms.
on that Incineroar.
Oh yeah, the other two. I thought you meant like sorry, I thought you were talking about Surge. My bad.
Calyrex Ice Rider. A lot of times Calyrex Ice Rider
Yeah, I probably could get decent at it, yeah.
in this position just so you don't take
Okay, so he led
super
Zam
effective
and
damage from this
Chi-Yu.
Pokemon, or you even get resisted damage depending on what attack the opponent picks.
Dude, Incineroar burning that. Dude, I'd be so pissed if Incineroar burned my Zamazenta turn 1, but it didn't matter.
I think you have to prioritize getting another burn down onto that Zamazenta, and then you need to start doing damage a bit more aggressively.
And it's a tough decision for Tatsuomi, as you mentioned, the fake out potential into Zamazenta or the Will-O-Wisp, which landed.
Trick Room ability.
One in just hurt so much damage, but he's gonna listen.
This is the finals of juniors, which is 12-year-old and younger. And then it's senior, which is 13 to 15, and then masters is 16 plus.
On the turn, thanks to that flinch, but it's a dark pulse into the
nice.
Dark type Incineroar going to take that way better here in game 2.
Okay.
Now Trick Room is up, Calyrex fully healthy, and Incineroar still with a lot of HP.
With a lot of HP and a lot of time on the field to land another burn against that Zamazenta, to parting shot out to weaken the attack or the special attack of Tatsuomi's Pokemon. There are plenty of options that he did not have in the previous game, thanks to the fire type terrestrialization, and again, just how these Pokemon are going.
That's a lot of damage, dude. Chi-Yu's fucking insane.
That Choice Specs held item is forced essentially to swap out on this turn to reset the attack it wants to click.
Yeah, I do agree, Volcano. I feel like it should be 18 plus for masters.
One of the best Pokemon you could choose to swap in. Besides the glitch, there's no wide guard. Zamazenta didn't click the wide guard, and Rillaboom takes the
Jesus.
whole of that hit. That's going to be a one-hit KO and an attack boost for Calyrex.
Learning from game 1 where that Rillaboom swapped in to take high horsepower, that Chi-Yu got up.
God damn, that's a bad start.
Knocked out, and now Zamazenta burned alongside of it.
Insult
he
burn as well. 2 games in a row that Will-O-Wisp has connected.
It's still killed.
It's still super effective into the dark type Incineroar, so it's more than enough.
Jesus.
They do trade 2 very strong Pokemon.
That's
I would definitely say Kevin Hahn comes out on top. One, Zamazenta's his damage hurt because of the burn, and Calyrex got the attack boost.
Calyrex got the attack boost. Zamazenta is going to be the slowest Pokemon on
Treads.
the field, but hey, that Iron Treads is
Treads are super effective on both, right?
Tatsuomi opting to bring the same 4 Pokemon into this matchup that we saw from him in game number 1. Going back to game number 1, we saw
that was not bad. That was not the worst, especially when
Kevin will lock into.
ice,
Again, we saw
fire,
very consistently
ice super effective, and yeah.
With a high
It's not over.
horsepower.
I thought it was really bad, but it's not over.
To take those attacks, so even if your opponent protects this turn, you're eventually going to land it.
Let's go, Treads. Oh, he's scouting.
The wide guard mind games for Glacial Lance when you have 2 steel types on the field.
High horsepower into Treads.
And a fire type Chi-Yu in the back that wouldn't want to swap into it either. So Kevin smartly
Thunderbolt into Zam.
Or the high horsepower, excuse me. Thunderbolt will go into the protect.
Come on, Tatsuomi. Win this shit, man.
He hit that slot, but there are 2 turns of Trick Room left for Kevin.
There are 2 turns of Trick Room.
Yeah, Trick Room's up, of course. I was gonna ask.
That Zamazenta will.
He's maybe just predicting the Chi-Yu.
Keep that burn.
He's probably just like trying to kill. Yeah, he's probably just trying to. He's probably just trying to kill Chi-Yu.
For this matchup,
because
he can go on the offense. One
Trick
thing
Room.
I do want to call out here is the fact that getting
Or Terra. You've got to remember Terra.
with that Rillaboom a couple turns ago.
He's terrestrializing.
For him because of the risk of wide
Bug.
on that Zamazenta.
Terra bug.
Terra bug Iron Treads. We are not making it up, everybody. One of the bug typing, one of the most underrepresented types in all
It fucking worked.
will help the Iron Treads take that high.
Will he take this though? No, crit.
Thunderbolt needs Iron Treads, can't survive the turn, and Zamazenta is all by himself on the battlefield right now. That could have been an amazing Terra for Tatsuomi.
How's it going, Chimp?
It's going to result in a KO.
0.
Zamazenta doing its best to
Did the crit matter? Did it matter? Oh, okay, I'll take your guys' word. That's a shame, dude. That's a shame. He's playing out of his mind though. That's my little man.
Chi-Yu, who cannot protect thanks to the choice specs item that it's holding and that Zamazenta.
It's AV. Okay, yeah, it definitely mattered then.
The final turn of Trick Room. So while this Calyrex Ice Rider still needs to click high horsepower to be safe.
Yeah, clean battle. Clean battle.
Against the Chi-Yu and pick up that KO.
There's the one-hit KO into Chi-Yu. So it's Calyrex's second knockout of the game, getting another attack boost. And here's the booster energy, aided, I should say, Thunderbolt into Zamazenta doing over half. That's the other important thing.
He learned and he played out of his mind. Yo, Kevin is a threat. I'm just rooting for Tatsuomi because he's the underdog. Kevin's got some crazy accomplishments considering he's like 12 and below. Like, he's in juniors and he's literally, he won EUIC. He wants like he just stomps people.
Here in the juniors finals at the World Championships.
Kevin Han has forced a final and decisive game 3 against his.
Listen, is it really finals if you don't have a game 3?
The winner of this match is going to leave Honolulu as the junior division world champion. And I think Tatsuomi, I think we would agree, Gabby, those 4 Pokemon seem to be the core 4 to bring, but that turn 1 was just so great from Kevin.
It was an incredible adjustment from Kevin. Again, recognizing that the ghost type terrestrialization on that Incineroar was punished by the presence of the Chi-Yu. And when your opponent leads Chi-Yu,
no, it's best of 3.
Know that it's there, that gives you all the confidence you need to lock in the fire type terrestrialization on that Calyrex Ice Rider. That was also an amazing play from Kevin here, where he did go for Glacial Lance despite the presence of a wide guard on the Zamazenta, correctly predicting that his opponent wouldn't go for it.
I love to see the emotion. I love to see the passion. These are the trainers that are the
best of 3 gives you enough. Gives you a game to readjust. I think best of 3 is fine.
So happy to see how much they're going to grow as
Hi, Sage Kevin.
This is one of the toughest matches they'll face in their short lives so far. But it's
their short lives so far. What a sentence, man.
Once they make it to the Masters division.
What a sentence.
That being said, though, there's still only one battle.
Oh, you know, they're incredible. They're incredibly talented.
Junior world champion, and we spent a little bit there talking about how Kevin adjusted his game plan between games 1 and 2. Let's take a moment to talk about how Tatsuomi could potentially
adjust crazy
his
to say.
Plan going into this game number 3. When you think about how that first game played out, it was really the positioning between the Rillaboom and the Iron Treads that gave him the time he needed to get through Trick Room and ultimately win the game.
These guys are real life Ash Ketchum.
Adapt to that in game number 2,
but like actually good at Pokemon.
In game number 3, you can also make an adaptation. You know, maybe you assume that your opponent knows there's the Iron Treads on the field, there's a possibility for high horsepower, I'll make that switch, and then go ahead and turn that against it.
Yeah, I think Tatsuomi is in a really tough spot mentally. Let's not say for the Pokemon, obviously there's so many difficult decisions you have to make every single turn. Do I swap? Do I protect? Can I stop Trick Room from going up? Can I punish Terra Fire a little bit better than I did?
Dude, these guys are playing out of their mind.
But you only have access to these 6 Pokemon that brought you this far. So, you know, you're going to have to worry, what are those options to stop the Trick Room from Terra Fire Calyrex?
Remember,
there aren't that many options.
You are on this YouTube-ish. A lot of people copy dribble
prediction and get
down into I think if I put the time into it, I can do anything. I've realized that. It's just I have to actually enjoy it. And I'm not passionate about VGC like that. Maybe next VGC season will interest me to try, you know. So these guys have been playing like Wolfie, so like people like that have been playing for decades at this point. Oh, it would take such a long time to get on their level.
It's faster than Chi-Yu, and while we know that Chi-Yu can terrestrialize to survive the hit from the Urshifu, that is a big commitment for
that beast PvP League. Let's go.
Turn 1 of game 3 here.
Dude, that's so funny. I've not even tried because Heavy's multiplayer yet.
He might want to save terrestrialization for that bug
Okay.
type. On the other side
no,
of the field,
Kevin's got a good lead here.
Really can comfortably go for that fire type terrestrialization once again on the Calyrex, knowing that the Chi-Yu has already been revealed.
To be fair, Zam's not gonna get burned though.
In some capacity this turn, since Incineroar is
Yeah.
not here to ruin its day and burn it with Will-O-Wisp. It's potentially in the back. You have to be prepared for that, but it is not on the
Oh,
field.
we're doing more tournament towers.
So you can't burn these body presses into the other
I've just
side.
not, yeah, I've not touched it.
Terrestrializing Urshifu rapid strike.
Oh, that's gonna hurt. Chi-Yu didn't swap, huh?
Attacks, the surging strikes, they're already massive and they're going to be even bigger in this game. There's no protects.
Yeah.
You can't protect anyway in front of Chi-Yu or with Chi-Yu. That's only a 2-hit KO. You don't even need the third surging strike.
A huge momentum shift for Kevin as he's able to secure a knockout on the first move of the first turn of this game 3.
And there's the body press. That does some pretty solid damage into your Urshifu. Definitely cannot take another one. Here's the Glacial Lance that is ineffective thanks to
That's unfortunate.
steel typing. So you do lose your Chi-Yu, but you do get a lot of damage onto the Urshifu, and Trick Room is not set up.
And you also cover for the potential Rillaboom switch
Yeah.
in that turn.
That was a
Instead,
tough one.
Chi-Yu was just knocked out, which means we do get the Rillaboom here now. Urshifu, very threatened by this Pokemon. It is more than within a Grassy Glide knockout range. So if Kevin wants to save that Urshifu for later on in this game, again, to put more pressure down onto
I feel like
the
Insane
Zamazenta,
comes in, right?
Tatsuomi has shown us time and time again.
You just body press that
very
slot.
Comfortable staying on the field, you have to switch that Pokemon out. Without Chi-Yu around, though, this seems like a great opportunity for Incineroar to take the field.
Right, exactly. One, because Incineroar would love to just switch in general in front of the grass type on its.
I think it has Grassy Glide. It must do.
Because Rillaboom, or excuse me, Urshifu's locked into the Choice Scarf surging strikes, it would take a tough spot. But
He just goes for it. He just rips it.
With the Urshifu,
He wants damage.
This rapid strike Pokemon is not long for the rest of the
It's really not doing that much damage. Dude, Zam is a threat.
Bring Zamazenta down to under half of its HP remaining, so the body press will knock out Urshifu. He's done its job. He's done, essentially
Glacial Lance is gonna, dude.
times the HP bars of Tatsuomi's Pokemon. So Urshifu has put in so much work in Game 3, but it's the U-turn from Rillaboom. The real question is, did Calyrex go for the Stomping Tantrum into Zamazenta?
We'll have to wait just a little bit longer to get that information, but we do
Treads
get the
coming in.
reveal of Tatsuomi's final Pokemon, and once again, it is the Iron
Trick Room.
Treads taking the field.
It's Trick Room instead of the attack. So now on the second turn of the game, Kevin is able to twist those dimensions, and you have a free switch into either the Incineroar or whatever the fourth Pokemon in the back will be for Kevin.
I love this positioning from Kevin there as well.
Dude, look how buggy this game is.
Could have done in that previous turn
Bolt.
is target down the Calyrex Ice Rider with both an attack from that Zamazenta and a Wood Hammer from that Rillaboom to get very close, if not knock it out outright. But because we saw Kevin commit to that Trick Room, recognizing that he might lose a Pokemon that turn, as long as Trick Room is there for a Raging Bolt, or a Raging Bolt can come in while the
Yeah, Wide Guard is a thing.
around, that is still a very favorable board position for him, as the Calyrex will still be able to attack first, and the Raging Bolt should underspeed the Zamazenta as well.
Yeah, the Zamazenta already under half HP, so it's in a really critical position for Tatsuomi. You can get some recovery every turn with the Protect as Grassy.
Dude, these guys are legends, because I get so pissed when I attack into a Protectamon.
Double Protect from Kevin.
Interesting that he's not capitalizing on Trick Room turns. Okay.
That as he sets up his own,
He just didn't, maybe he just didn't want to show.
the following turn. Iron Treads goes for the Protect as well to keep itself safe. Body Press doesn't hit into the Raging Bolt, so no damage from anybody, only health recovery.
And Kevin, again, anticipating the Protect on that Iron Treads to ensure that Zamazenta can't find a knockout.
A guy like me protects Zamazenta
now
here.
You can fairly safely target into the Iron Treads with your Pokemon. You do still have to worry about a Wide Guard, and you do have to worry about the Rillaboom switching in for that Iron Treads as well. So there's a bit of a mind game here as to what attack Kevin uses with that Calyrex. But
Remember when Zamazenta didn't learn Body Press?
Necessarily worried about
for some reason.
this turn. And as you can see, Calyrex actually switching out to keep itself safe. So Kevin just
Insane.
going on the offense with the Raging Bolt.
I don't think Thunderbolt kills it from that range. Surely not. I don't think so. I could be wrong. He's Terra Bug. Terra Bug, he's going for it, dude. Let's go.
That takes advantage of it. Terra Bug Iron Treads yet again in game 3. Last time it was double targeted, so that's why it wasn't able to hang on. But he did get crit by a booster energy Thunderbolt from Raging Bolt. This time
I did take him out. Never mind.
And Tatsuomi has lost his restricted Pokemon in game 3.
Why are you spoiling that, dude? What the fuck? I don't know why you do that.
It does hardly anything, and it will also tear up the grassy terrain on the field. Rillaboom will be back out shortly to reset that terrain and give Iron Treads access to
Terra Bug, it resists ground.
Really wanted to land that attack into the Calyrex Ice Rider, which is
Probably does some other things.
So you can take those hits. That all being said,
it isn't weak to like ice, I guess. Whereas if it was Terra Flying, it'd be weak to ice.
Access to fake out this turn.
Fighting resist too. Yep.
Maybe protect your Iron Treads for one of these turns, or fake out and protect to get through both turns. But you have to find your way through Trick Room in order to keep an advantage and keep yourself in the game for that World Champion title.
Incineroar does not have a fire attack.
You just messaged me.
Because of Lilith in that 4th slot, so both of these, the grass and bug types on the field right now, are not threatened by super effective damage. Draco Meteor lands into Iron Treads. It's going to be more than enough for the KO, and Tatsuomi losing his terrestrialized Pokemon. It's just Rillaboom versus the world.
Rillaboom does have that grassy terrain to help keep its health higher and also boost the damage of its grass type attacks. But
crazy, dude.
Calyrex Ice Rider waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Kevin is too much of a threat. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it.
3 of these KOs.
Oh, he just forfeits. Oh. Dude, Kevin literally went 1 and 2 and then won all the rest of his other games he needed to win. He won EUIC. He's had so many fucking wins, dude. He definitely deserves it. Congratulations to Kevin.
Opponents' adjustments throughout all 3 of those incredibly long games. Kevin has shown us just why he is one of the most awarded junior champions in Pokemon video game history.
Games 2 and 3 arguably were shorter combined than game 1 was. There was so much back and forth in game 1. These two trainers playing at an elite level, trying to figure out their tendencies, trying to figure out their play styles on what type of risky decisions.
Kevin is a future Wolfie, definitely.
And Kevin losing game 1 and coming back to win the series is so impressive.
When does it end? I don't know. Just watch and find out.
Throughout that matchup was impressive as well. Who would have expected to see Iron Treads in that matchup, ready to threaten all that damage down onto the Incineroar, onto the Calyrex Ice Rider?
I love seeing Iron Treads, to be honest.
Recognizing that it was definitely the Pokemon to play there, and I think I owe you a bit of
that was juniors, yeah.
Joe Brown, as I said we would not be seeing that bug type terrestrialization, and
so nice we saw it twice.
Yeah, it was so nice we saw it twice. So congratulations, I give that one to you.
Thank you. I tell you, let's
I love Terra Bug Treads.
The first turn was so huge because Chi-Yu being led instead of in the back. It meant that even if you Terra Ghost,
no, it's juniors, seniors, masters.
Attack would be able to knock it out regardless. So I think Kevin kind of just playing his own game. Maybe game 1 was too worried about what Tatsuomi was doing. Instead, game 2 and 3 say, hey, what is my win condition? If I just take down the Chi-Yu slot, if I get Zamazenta down under half and then any chip damage later on will take care of it, it's better to focus on my win conditions than my opponents.
I'm so glad you mentioned that Chi-Yu as well, because I think going into game number 1, Kevin was not sure.
I love seeing Raging Bolt be good, man. Raging Bolt is so funny.
That all being said, though, after he saw the Chi-Yu in that game number 1, he was able to correctly.
I do enjoy watching these. I found I'm actually like, even just watching Wolfie, I've got a pretty good knowledge of like what like what is going on for the most part, and like what's gonna happen. It's just when it comes to actually applying that in game is a different thing.
See that ghost type terrestrialization.
Right.
So a great adaptation.
Exactly. That's one of those kind of pin situations we talk about in VGC at the high level that effectively it's a positive outcome no matter what, right? It was like we saw in game.
Good shit to Kevin Han though.
Turn where Rillaboom swapped in. Well, he either gets knocked out from the Glacial Lance or he doesn't swap the Rillaboom in, which I'm happy. I'm going to be in a positive position.
Yeah, I love everything about Bolt too. He's great.
Tatsuyumi takes his first loss of the end. Kevin Han also taking his first loss of Top Cut in the finals.
And that's all you can ask for in a finals, right? As someone in the audience, you want it to be close.
Yeah, it's so easy to just watch and be like, oh, why didn't they just do this? But then like when you're actually in the battle, your brain's going so much faster. And you actually, like, I don't know, battling is so different than actually watching, yeah.
Shimanuki as well.
Yeah, I think Kevin has to be so happy with these Pokemon. I think Raging Bolt had picked up the trifecta of these 3 championships. I believe Raging Bolt was on all 3 of the championships that Kevin had at the international level this season. So it's fun. We can go from all over the world. Essentially, you go to Europe from your favorite Pokemon and win. Go to New Orleans with the family, pick up a title. Head over to Honolulu and become world champion. It's got to be a great feeling.
I think so. And I also love to see trainers iterate on the same team throughout the season. I know that EUIC was obviously in a different regulation, so it's not like a one-to-one comparison, but just seeing people utilize the same
Kevin and his giraffe.
Pokemon time and time again.
You have a giraffe. They didn't use.
And it helps you just
Seeing Kevin like
almost like a muscle memory.
Kevin basically be like an underdog. Like he's not an underdog, but like he was literally 1 and 2. He won 1 game, lost 2. Talked to his brother, came back, went 6 and 2. Won the fight. Like that's just like it just shows like even if you lose doesn't mean you're like you're out. You just gotta adjust.
Take it away.
I am here with your champion, Kevin Han.
The goat.
Kevin, game 1 didn't go so well for you, but you were able to keep it.
Back, Steel Mask, Opponent, Iron, Val, Klefki, and Umbreon top 32. Yeah.
How did you do that?
So
it's because a lot of the teams are the same.
In the time between the matches, I thought about what my opponent would do. Now, in the World Championships, I feel like if you go with the same plan twice, it's not gonna work. So I figured they change up their lead to Chiyu Zamazenta. So after
he's good at what he does.
Chiyu Zamazenta and I let Calyrex Incineroar, I thought about what they would do. Now, they don't want to like. So after I got Trick Room up with my Fake Out in Trick Room, I thought about it and I said, they're not gonna stay in with their Chiyu because I can easily double up to it and knock it out. They'll probably bring in the Rillaboom. So I clicked Glacial Lance and it worked.
Sure did. Great.
I love hearing kids nerd out about Pokemon, man. I just love hearing anyone nerd about Pokemon. It's so great.
People, especially in your family. Tell us about your training for this event.
So I prepped a lot. I first tried to find out what my team was, and I figured that out in like 3 or 4 weeks. It was really tough, but I managed to do it. And then after that, I started preparing the matchups, which I did for the remainder. And then I worked with my coaches, Kylan Van Severin, Justin Tang, Justin Karras, and especially my brother Chris. He's the one who helped me through this tournament the most.
Aw.
And I
love that, man.
Helped you through many tournaments. You have been
Thank you, Pokéleo.
Champion, EUIC champion. Now you're world champion. What are you gonna do next?
Dude, EUIC, he literally won London.
Go for senior internationals, I guess.
Sounds like a good plan. Is
Fuck
there
it, dude, why
anyone you
not?
want to say hi to or thank you to that you haven't listed already?
I want to thank my Mousehole Discord friends.
Mousehole Discord friends.
School friends. And
that's awesome.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again, Kevin. Let's hear it one more time for your junior
I saw with the TCG
and don't go anywhere because we have
for real actual W.
Going into the senior division.
The TCG winner was from Chile, which was the first ever winner from Chile. Like, first ever world champion from Chile. Yo, it's my boy Lee.
With the seniors division of our competition.
I love these two.
Lee Provost. What a match to be kicking off the video game.
Incredible way for us to start Championship Sunday for the video game, and it's
the first time I ever heard about Lee. I was at a VGC event in Glasgow. I think he was literally like in the final match of the VGC event in Glasgow, and he had a flight to catch, so he left early before doing the final battle. First time I ever heard about Lee. I was like, this guy's fucking crazy. He's winning and he's gonna leave because he's gonna miss a flight.
Very good in the upcoming regulation.
Yeah, make sure you jump into your copy of Scarlet and Violet and use.
Sorry about earlier. I'll stay silent now. You don't have to act like that. Just don't. You can talk. Just don't. Like, if I've not seen it yet, don't spoil it. You know what I mean?
Sierra after the World Championships, and a great.
Yeah, that was back in like 2016. I think he just left. I mean, it wasn't like a big VGC event. It wasn't like a huge regional or anything like that. It was just like it was more of like a. I don't know if it wasn't like a local. Maybe it was like a regional. I don't remember. It wasn't small, but it wasn't big.
Illustration in game.
Yeah, I did VGC sometimes.
Worlds 24.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just don't spoil. If you know if it's one thing to say, oh, I think it might Oko. It's another thing to be like, oh, I saw it, I watched it, I've already seen it. It's like, oh fuck, man.
We've had juniors. Now we can take an overview of
all right, seniors.
bracket C, where trainers have
We've got Luke, Crawl, and Ray.
One thing that we
Yamanaka, Ray Yamanaka.
Is the future of Pokemon.
Oh wow. There's just 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. There's none of these games went to 3.
Division. And so being able to, especially when we're looking at Luke's case, end it off with a win like this would be absolutely fantastic. 2-0s all across the bracket for both of our competitors. So Ray, definitely a very worthy opponent here.
Yeah, very dominant.
Luke Crawl is such a Luke Crawl sounds like the name of like a superhero.
Coming into this final with a 12.
Luke Crawl. What a sick name, dude.
Set this entire tournament, which is just incredible. Ray, on the other hand, 10-2 record, which is understandable. You know, a brilliant record. You're at the World Championships, the highest caliber of players, and these both have very interesting teams.
Yeah.
But the route that they've had to take to get here, just a very tough one. Testament to both of our trainers.
Yeah, the competition is nothing but fierce once we get into the World Championships, and one match away for both of these to determine who is going to be the next World Champion up. And this should be a really exciting matchup because across the board, I mean, we
Nintendo Museum that's scheduled. Oh my god. Yo, thanks for the 5 gifties, man. You have to do that.
Yeah, and I think this is the one thing when you look at an overview.
It's all good. I'm watching it live too. You don't have to do that, man. Thank you. Is my Twitch like lagging behind? Hold on. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate that. You don't have to do that for real. I'm sorry if I like upset you or anything. I mean, you don't have to stop talking. Just don't spoil. That's all. That's literally it. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate it, man.
Be a testament to both of these trainers because they've made it this far.
It was not an outro. It was an intro. Oh, you music, yeah.
You know, on their side, but I think this is
I mean, doesn't Twitch update? I thought Twitch like updated you. I thought Twitch like brought you forward, but I guess not. YouTube stream's definitely not going to be ahead. Oh, you're at the actual event. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's exciting. I hope you have a good. Hope you're having a good time, homie. You don't have to be here. Go enjoy the event. What the fuck, dude? That's exciting. Go enjoy the actual event.
Running theme this weekend with how high the competition has been here, and it's again.
Yeah, you've got no delay. It's just fucking. Yeah, it must be exciting if you're at the actual event. I get it.
There's a huge key in it, but also testament to how well they performed on the big stage.
Yeah, no, I get why you would you'd want to say something then because you're like actually there and you're fucking hype. Yeah, don't spoil. Enjoy the event. I'm not telling you to leave. You can stay here if you want, but like enjoy the event, dude. Genuinely, have a good time.
Because we'll get to really be able to dive into accomplishments and stuff in a little bit, but when you start off the regulation, like in Luke's case as a regional champion, to then start off the format strong and potentially end it off even stronger, I think that's a really, really cool thing, especially too for anyone that's been able to really dive into this. And for Ray himself, I mean, relatively newer player, so this is humongous.
I want to go world so bad. I really hope the next one is somewhere like more local to me. I mean, I couldn't go to London because we were saving money for Sky moving over here, but London would have been the perfect one to go to.
Testament in itself to be able to even be here. And then you look at Luke's side of the field. Last year in seniors, we'll be leveling up.
I'm not streaming on Twitch. I'm just watching on Twitch because Twitch has got less of a delay. Just hoping to other streams see the reaction. Oh well, hey.
Get over the line. He's got a big, tough opponent in front of him.
As long as you're having a good time, bro. That's all that matters.
But yeah, coming off the back of a regionals championship, you know, Indianapolis earlier this year, I think will help him a lot, especially because that was in Regulation G as well, which we're in now.
Especially too when you're looking at that last year before going up into the Masters division. We have players in the Masters division that were senior world champions who still play and are still, I mean, performing fantastically, taking down regional championships.
Paris or LA?
In these tournaments. So Luke already really proving the skill to I don't know, kind of make a couple of people scared next year once he's playing at their level. But this would even just be more
I could see Paris. Yeah. Wait, Paris makes. I feel like Paris makes more sense than Spain.
He's been saying how well he does against the Masters at his local events. How he's taking games off them already. So you're going to be a very scary prospect, especially in the Masters division, as he is leveling up next season. And it's one of those things where we do commonly see seniors come in, have a really good run, claim the championship, and then level up into Masters, and then have a huge impact in that circuit.
I wouldn't say it's too late for Spain, because this is a Lola, which is like, you know, based on nothing. Spain, Joe Merrick said that Spain has prizing laws which will prevent it. It's why Spain doesn't get regional championships, but rather special events with no prize money.
Actually, and yeah, can definitely attest to the skill here. Do not get me wrong on that. But I'm really excited to have this first opportunity to really look at Ray play. And it was funny because you were talking about
sounds good, dude. Enjoy
the players, and Ray had mentioned that, like, yeah, expected Worlds to be tough, and it was. And I love that kind of humble approach to it. Like, yeah, I've worked hard, I've pushed on through, and I'm now at this spot. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear, and it's so great to get a few words with the players as well before they get in.
Joe, the Serbi guy, yes.
But with that said,
he knows what he's talking about.
Over on stage with our players, so let's introduce them for this seniors final.
Let's meet your senior finalists. Please welcome to the stage.
I love the fucking Sada cosplay, man.
Luke Crow. And from Japan,
Dude, he loves it, man. He loves the Umbreon Pikachu duo. Dublin. I'd love to go to Dublin. I don't think they'll go to Dublin. Honestly, I want to go. I'd love to. America-B is my favorite site. I'd love to go to Worlds next year. That would be, I think that should be a goal. Even if I'm not attending to play, I just want to watch. I just want to be there. I want to be around my people.
Thank you both for joining us. We can't wait to watch you play. Just one question before we start.
I think it was Rika, yeah.
Play in regionals before. We know a little bit what to expect from you, Luke.
I feel like I recognize this guy.
This match in the World Championships.
Helping Hand Draco Meteor.
Nice, very specific. Thank you, Luke. And what about you? What can we expect to see here in this match from you?
Said Helping Hand Draco Meteor. He's got charisma, dude. Straight to the point.
I have no idea what
Honest.
you should all expect to see, but I'm just gonna give it my all and do my very best.
That's all we can ask, Ray. Thank you so much. Let's hear one more big round of applause for our finalists.
So if you're watching Worlds, don't look at Serbi because Joe will spoil it before you actually see what happens.
Love having the opportunity to hear from our players ahead of the match, and I love the varied responses coming out here. Helping Draco Meteors. All right, a little spoiler of what to come here, but right, it'll be especially intriguing to see whereabouts he wants to be going with his strategy for this match, because there's a couple of different ways to really approach this. This restricted he has on his end can really go a variety of ways, but you know that you're looking for heavy damage. This could be such an intense match.
Yeah, very intense. I think you nail it there, Sierra, with the Calyrex being the one option that Ray's got on his side of the field. Does have access to being able to set up, to get that power boost with the nasty plot. And if it's in the right position to do that, it's going to outrun everything on Luke's side of the field. And he's going to have his wits about him to deal with those Astral Barrages, which are going to come out heavy.
Yeah, this is senior.
Potential knockouts if Ray can get it set up into those situations.
I know when we've looked at this match that there is a couple of different ways the players can go ahead and approach this. So I'm very intrigued once we get into this matchup, what road they opt to go down for, because when we're looking at one end of the board, I want to wait till they got the headsets to really dive into this.
Yeah, I do love that they get to bring plushies with them.
Big ways that you can approach this matchup, and it's going to be on the other to really kind of respond.
A guy like me would have a Xurkitree plush.
Last night, headsets on. I think when you're looking at Luke, there's two very different ways you can go about this.
Because I'm different than y'all.
I think it is all about the decisions here.
This is the second last finals.
because I think if you look at Ray,
It's going to be this next finals, probably the ceremony of like giving them their trophies, and then probably whatever Pokemon want to show off.
And allow that nasty plot to be set up, because if you do get that, it enables the Shadow Rider Calyrex to just be that really dominant force on the side of the field, and you've got other support options there.
I'd maybe take them. Maybe.
Bring the Rillaboom is another option where you can
Zerk hugging my neck. I love Zerk.
But that's kind of overstated.
Dude, I'm kinda, not gonna lie, kinda rooting.
Really interesting options.
I've got to root for the Miraidon team. I've got to root for the Miraidon team.
It's not only going to boost its attack.
It's got Entei on it, which I didn't know Entei was good in VGC, but hey.
Side of the field, it is
The Miraidon team's the one for me.
You don't need to worry about that threat.
Let's go Miraidon. Everyone thought you were a fraud, but you're actually the GOAT, dude.
Damaging output options to make sure you can
That's sick, Dr. Danish.
out damage Ray, because when I'm looking at this nasty block
How's it going, Darth?
something that can boost, you cannot be passive, and you do have those passive options. But I think Luke knows you cannot allow these setups. When you're giving the little hint of a helping hand Draco Meteor, I think he understands the importance of not giving any wiggle room over to Ray.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's a big important thing. I think the one thing you look at with that Amoonguss though is its Terra typing. You can't freely throw Draco Meteors out like he's talking about.
Oh my god, Luke Crawl has got some fucking... He's... all of his shit is recent. Regional champion, top 8, top 4, top 8. And then Ray is just top 64 in Tokyo.
Really, really cool. So we'll start talking about Ray first. So the top 64, we're looking at the qualification, and I love this, but Ray has been just playing since Scarlet and Violet.
That's so cool to get to the finals.
Such a big testament.
That's so
to
cool.
The type of player that you're going to be, that jumping into this new game and new
Yeah, fuck these horses, man. I'm sick of these damn horses.
Yeah, incredible to know that you've only just recently come into this game and you're already on the stage at the World Championships in a final. For Luke on the other side of the field, he always has that regional win in Indianapolis.
I mean, he would have collected, I imagine he would have collected points from like locals.
Very recently in the Pokemon scene in 2022.
Talking a little bit more about the
That's
teams.
cool.
We touched on the importance of that Calyrex Shadow Rider, but looking at the other options around it, we got the double grass here, the Rillaboom and the Amoonguss. Of course, you do have to
Dude, for grass being like a weak type, like there's sure a lot of grass types in VGC.
Really good utility in that grassy surge to get rid of the train of the Miraidon.
They just got good utility, to be honest.
Redirection. Of course, you're not going to appreciate.
Yo, how's it going?
But if you can keep the Calyrex
Japan qualifying are different. Oh, how does it work then?
It could be a huge difference in this match.
Because I know in the UK, where you can just do locals.
Electric terrain, and it enables that Spore then to be a big threat on the opposite side of the field.
I think there's so many Japanese players though that I think they have to do it differently. I remember hearing about that.
And the Covet Cloak, so it's able to not really worry too much about maybe the Iron Hand.
I wouldn't say that's basically it.
With that fake out where it has a free taunt into those things.
A new player starting Pokemon Scarlet and Violet makes it all the way to the World Championship Finals.
Yet again, the championship dream, starting it off, starting that Pokemon journey, very reminiscent of that treasure hunt that you do at the beginning of the story. And
I hope you enjoy the GBL, man.
Well, he definitely is about to add maybe something new to that collection, a World Championship trophy. So I'm so excited to see how that will turn out. But a worthy opponent sitting on the other end. You talked about that regional win, kicking the season off strong and potentially ending it off even stronger.
This guy just doesn't have a grass type. He said, I don't give a fuck. As their qualifying spots rather than their own world qualifying.
But definitely offering a lot in this match.
Yeah, especially with that normal Terra typing that it's got there, and a little bit different maybe than the Entei that we've seen in the past, where its common item is that choice band, but we're seeing Luke opt for the Life Orb, and that also offers up the option to go for the Protect, which allows you to make...
Psychic Noise makes it so they can't recover, I think, for a turn or two, right?
Be enabled a bit further and not go down or be in that position where...
Yeah, Terra Stellar isn't that bad. So far, undefeated all the way to the finals. Can he get 13-0? Oh my god. What a fucking monster.
Be the most important match of all. If you can go say that one more time. Family in the crowd supporting. Nice dirty out, but this is going to be so exciting. I cannot wait. Either side of the table, a very worthy champion.
Good God.
Exactly that, and both players, like I've already mentioned, have done incredibly well to just get to this point, but I don't think that's enough for these players. There's one more thing to do, got to take one step further and claim that championship for themselves. Both players have the opportunity to do it. We've kind of covered and touched upon some of the things that these players will be trying to go for in these matches, but the important Pokemon, I think, for both players, the Urshifu could be really important for Luke, could also be more important on Ray's side of the field because of how important that Entei is on Luke's side and how excited he is about that Pokemon in general, how much it feels like it's going to be something that he can utilize, sit in front of that Calyrex, take that Terastallization, not really worry about those Astral Barrages. So then you're looking at...
I'm so excited to see how VGT is like next year, dude.
As quick as possible.
I really hope it is on a different game.
Threats though, focus too close and onto the Entei. And all of a sudden, this
I agree, Jade.
to Electro Drift in your face, or Luke's own Urshifu.
I'm not sure.
This was going to be so intense to see what.
Yeah, Psychic Noise is a newer move, yeah.
Because that's going to be the biggest road for what they have to go down heading down this championship series. It is time to start getting underway.
How else do you pronounce? Entei, Entei.
Cannot wait to see how this is going to be going down.
Entei, I guess.
Calyrex, Urshifu, the
Entei.
making the noise. Let's get to it.
Yeah, it's a really aggressive start here from Luke, going with that Miraidon straight out of
the music.
Pressure. Both that Calyrex with this electric train being set up, and more importantly, that Urshifu.
I don't give a shit about pronunciations. You guys need to fall off of that. The defense from the electric seed. Let's go.
I'm going to be able to take one attack and maybe get some really pivotal damage onto something like that.
No priority moves. Fuck you, Urshifu.
That has the Astral Barrage, but the Farigiraf on Luke's side going to be immune to that. Not really going to be really threatened by that Psychic either. So is it in a position where it can get a nasty plot off? It is pretty risky. Can you take an attack from this Miraidon?
So we're not going to test it out. That will be the protect. Make sure you can scout out what this Miraidon on the opposing end does, as Urshifu also detecting. Luke had spoken about how there is going to be these helping hand Draco Meteors, but the Volt Switch, an attempt to reposition. You'll have another opportunity.
Giraffe had the seed.
Next turn, foul play. It would be the double up. Try and get as much damage starting.
Surging Strikes is priority.
It's a bit risky there because you could maybe see the Farigiraf go for a Trick Room.
Right? I thought it was. It is, right? Yeah, it is.
But not looking into that, just wanting to chase after that Calyrex as soon as possible. The nice thing now is that Ray does have...
It's not Electric Terrain that blocks it. It's Armor Tail.
So it has to lock
oh, I thought Surging Strikes was. Never mind.
Does he go for that? Maybe that's something
just Aqua Jet.
I think that's
I'm thinking of Water Shuriken.
You would be able to pivot out,
yeah, it's just Jet.
Damage before and a lot into that Miraidon, bringing it down just below half. Volt Switch a lot back into the Urshifu.
It's always
focus sash. So we'll be holding off and will have an opportunity.
It always crits. Yeah, I thought it was both. I think it was just the Trick Room getting in my head. There's a lot to keep track of.
Luke's side of the field now that both targets on Ray's side have attacked, and it is that Grimmsnarl.
Detect. There's no difference. It's just so you can't be imprisoned.
In the defense, that's not gonna matter. We don't care about the drops. You're on 1 HP. You're on borrowed time. So that Psychic Noise is gonna drop the Urshifu once and for all on this turn.
Now, if Luke does have that Entei in the back, this is a huge move.
Yeah.
Yes, you've taken a bit of damage from the
It helps you with the imprison.
There's not been that Grimnir boost, which is great. Nothing's been knocked out. You've still got all your Pokemon, and you've removed that big threat to the Entei, which could come in later on and utilize that Terastallization. You've got a nice position as well with your Grimmsnarl out on the field. It is going to be
able to
threaten with those Thunder Waves, or even better, get some...
Yeah, my bad. Surging Strike's not priority, it's just Aqua Jet. And it's yeah, Armor Tail on Giraffe, which will protect against priority.
Taking those Astral Barrages, or even coming out from the Calyrex of the threat.
I feel like if anyone would run Imprison, it would be like Indeedee. Like Psychic types probably, but...
And when this Grimmsnarl is threatening over on the opposing end with these Thunder Waves,
yeah, it's probably not ran much anymore, but
that is going to be
thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate you.
Matchup going to be slower and potential to not even attack. So
why is that Grimmsnarl so small, dude?
Almost a year of Team Hood grunting smile _ Hood high.
Thank you.
Nothing's really too threatened. The Psychic Noise going to do super effective damage, but not enough to pick up the knockout into the Amoonguss. So there's no immediate reason for you to have to lock in with a Terastallization here with the Amoonguss, unlike if the Entei was out on the opposite side of the field. Again, the Grimmsnarl is threatening with the foul play as well, so you've got...
Yo, thanks for the member, dude. I appreciate it.
Protecting perfectly that Calyrex and opening the door for you to get a nasty plot off in this position.
The one thing that I'd be worried about with the nasty plot on this turn is that we do want
I
to
mean,
go for Trick Room.
I'd rather have detect than get imprisoned protected, to be honest. I'd rather have less PP. Because, like, Urshifu's not going to detect more than 8 times.
There's going to be Terastallization. The Terra.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Thank you so much, though.
Trying to have a little bit more longevity in this is Rage Powder. Move of choice. Keep the Calyrex safe.
That's a really smart terrestrialization. I was saying there's no need for it, but there is a need if you want to keep that Amoonguss around a lot longer, taking away that psychic weakness.
Okay.
So reducing the damage from a foul play, and there is the nasty plot. +2 special attack. This Calyrex is starting to get set up.
Plotting on the demise and a lot of damage on the horizon. Amoonguss just a little bit of damage in from that psychic noise, but this Calyrex is about to dish out a world of hurt. Reminder, that Farigiraf is going to be fine up against it, but you'll be doing a lot into that Grimmsnarl, picking up the KO and anything that's swapping in. And you do have another move as well. You can't just
I don't think it negates Regenerator. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
Continually going for them now. I think you need to readjust. If you are Luke, you can't allow this Calyrex just to freely fire off these Astral Barrages, and this Amoonguss in a great position where we've already mentioned the Psychic Noise not going to be doing too much, and even if we do see a Thunder Wave, the Amoonguss not really too worried.
I learned that from playing Draft.
Just soaking up the paralysis from the Calyrex Shadow Rider is another Astral Barrage +2 boosted. The Grimmsnarls already taken some damage, so coming on out, eliminating it. You do not have to worry about the Thunder Waves from here on out, and the Farigiraf. Sure, it's not taking any damage, but this Calyrex now is at a +3 and constantly threaten the partner Pokemon. So perfect time for the Trick Room to make sure that horse is moving last.
Yeah, the Trick Room being sent up is really in one way a nice thing for the Amoonguss, right?
Ante, the great friend.
Almost threatened with those spells, but because the Electric Drain is still active on the field, that's
how's it going, Almighty Arceus?
utilized now.
Yeah, me too. Farigiraf is the mon that I'm most happy to see do well. Like, seeing Wolfie use Farigiraf on his team, I was like, yes.
If Ray decides to go for a Rage Powder, there is a chance of the fully paralysis from that Thunder Wave. So if you can't get
it might be Terra normal time.
Your Calyrex is sitting a little bit open, especially with a Life Orb boosted Entei that can go for that terrestrialization now and have that immunity from those really threatening Astral Barrages.
And that is not a
look at Entei's feet, dude.
Way around that risk with the Amoonguss, with the paralysis, you go for it, and it's not going to do anything.
Yikes.
It cannot keep the partner Calyrex safe on this turn, but maybe the punish won't be there. Entei, the protect for that first turn.
Okay.
Oh, and that's so unfortunate, but I mean, you get away with it slightly there because of the Entei.
Okay.
Just going for that protect. The Psychic Noise coming out into the Amoonguss, going to be able to take that a little bit better, but that's the sort of risk that you're taking at this point. The Calyrex going for the protect there, cannot go for it again. You've got to hope if you go for the same play this time around, the Entei doesn't go for that terrestrialization, and also that you don't get paralyzed.
It was a no harm, no foul on the turn. I think it was just a double protect to try and get through that first turn of Trick Room, but a real testament of how this can really just go downhill from here on out. If the Calyrex had it protected and the Luke did want to go on the offensive, that could have been absolutely massive. So
this is looking solid for Luke so far, I think.
A little nerve-wracking from here on out because you've seen the potential for where this can go wrong.
Yeah, and I think if you've got one, you think that's it out the way now. So hopefully Amoonguss,
which is insane to say considering there's a +3 Calyrex.
We'll see the Electric
I like his team a lot too.
Now, but we're not keeping the
there's that regen.
The field. We're gonna let it just go back. Use that regenerate ability now that the noise is kind of worn off, and the Raging Bolt enter the field.
It's going to be terrestrialization for Luke here in game 1, and that Entei that we talked about, the importance of it. Here's the terrestrialization into the normal type.
Has to.
So the Calyrex with these +3 special attack.
Yeah, it's 20-minute timer per battle. Okay.
Anything in the helping hand, we are looking to go on the offensive. Can it be the MVP? Not just offensive terrestrialization, but offensive as well. Extreme speed into the Raging Bolt, dropping a lot of damage.
I feel like that didn't do as much as I thought it would. Okay. That's gonna. Wow.
Taking down that huge important Pokemon for Luke.
He predicted that shit. He predicted that shit.
You needed this damage. You needed to stick around, but this Calyrex
Satoru Gojo.
Another boost, but I think it's too late. No amount of slowing down from Luke. You do have this Miraidon, but this Calyrex hasn't been touched. It's sitting at this +4, and sure, maybe it's in this Trick Room, but Luke has not made a scratch on it so far.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
2 more Trick Room turns too. Yeah, it might be cooked. Honestly, I think Ray's got this.
To knock it out, maybe not. Depends how the Calyrex
That's crazy.
has been trained, so it's at least going to be able to fire off one Astro Barrage. The Miraidon in a pin position as well. It's slower. It's going to have to take an Astro Barrage.
Yeah, no, Calyrex has got this.
Probably not.
The Psychic Noise into the Raging Bolt, not even going for it if you was trained wrong. But I think at the World Championships, that Calyrex will be all the right stats. Dragon Balls into the Miraidon, super effective.
Sorry, it's just game 1.
It will drop, and now the Farigiraf, last Pokemon standing, and it's not going to be able to get it done.
No, and the Trick Room's still in effect, so the Calyrex, the last thing to actually attack this turn, the Miraidon not...
Giraffe, clean it up. Clean it up, Giraffe, clean it up.
Attack. Farigiraf against the 3 Pokemon now on Ray's side of the field, and it probably feels a little bit too far for him to make a comeback in this one. Ray taking it with quite dominating fashion in this first game.
100%. We talked about the importance of this Calyrex Shadow Rider and not allowing it to get set up. This is going to be great to know the amount of damage that you'll do from here.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good knowledge to have.
Still plenty in the tank. Good, but a second Raging Bolt. That was the self-KO.
Self-worth it, I think, taking it down and then closed up with this Calyrex. It's been so phenomenal through this first game, and closing it out for Ray here as he takes an early lead in this set.
What a match as well. Even in that Trick Room, even in those twisted dimensions, great support.
Dude, I hate Trick Room.
There is no way that Luke could get to that Calyrex Shadow Rider in the first place. So now you really have to reevaluate a couple of maybe passive options.
What do you mean calc beforehand? You don't know what EV spread your opponent has.
Mungus, yes, you try and set up. You have this Farigiraf to stop any priority.
You can't really calc beforehand. You can get a general idea, but like
you need to outdamage your opponent at some points. And
your Pokemon can be built different.
And we
Literally.
got to the latter stages of that game, and you quite rightly pointed out that the Calyrex is still not taking any damage. Just testament to how useful that Amoonguss is. Yes, it had that one turn where it was fully paralyzed, but kind of fortunate that you got around that because the Entei also was protecting that turn just to kind of get through those Trick Room turns. So really fortunate that nothing really came of that, because that could have been quite punishing if you'd seen a Sacred Fire and maybe a Psychic Noise.
True. Pull up shoulder.
A little bit earlier on in this match.
And the Entei, when you're looking at this Pokemon that could be dealing so much damage, not really the opportunity to do much once it finally did hit the field. It fired off one extreme speed. The Raging Bolt being brought to the battle is not going to be felled by that. And then, sure, the Terastallization
Let's go, Giraffe.
great, but being able to just go for these single target attacks at that point from this Calyrex Shadow Rider, that immunity doesn't matter anymore. It still has these other attacking ways. So Luke, it's going to be... He has to be careful in this next match, and I'm expecting something maybe a little bit more aggressive coming out.
Yeah, I think the one thing is to go for the Terastallization maybe and get that Entei out a bit earlier, because if you can get it out a bit earlier and prevent the Calyrex from really setting up that the nasty plot, that's the half the battle, right? Because it's +2. Even with those Psychics, it's going to be hitting very hard, even if you go for that normal Terastallization. So you've got to try and put the pressure on early on. Maybe utilizing something like your own Urshifu. It's very difficult to kind of weave into the 4 that you bring for Luke, I think, into this match. But it would be
there's this, and then there's Masters, and then that's it. And then it's award ceremony, and then whatever I think the award ceremony is when they announce everything.
Outside of that, you've got to make sure that you have.
Oh no, yeah, this Pokemon has come a long way, dude. Pokemon Worlds is come a long way.
Support that Calyrex, and the big thing is here, do we see maybe a little bit of a change up from our trainers? Do we maybe see the Rillaboom come out this time around from Ray's side of the field? Because that would be the thing that allows that Amoonguss a little bit more freedom to pressure things.
He didn't. I mean, I don't know if he gave information. He gained information about Farigiraf can 2KO.
It would also push
Cali.
on that Trick Room mode. So I think that Ray did a fantastic job of going through that Trick Room mode. I mean, you're taking the KOs and you won the game in. But that extra security could be that difference between
Sierra
champion or not. It's going to be on Luke to respond.
I think we will get Legends ZA news, yeah.
Don't let Ray have all the fun here as we hop right back into the match. Game number 2.
Yeah, he knows the moves. It's just he doesn't know the damage. And you could say like, oh, he knows.
It is going to give you that alleviation against a Spore threat from the Amoonguss, but it is still a threat at the end of the day because it is going to be able to redirect. It frees up the Calyrex to go for that nasty plot here. obviously gets the psychics, the boost. In this situation, the defense boost isn't really going to be too useful, and you've got to try and weave some way about getting the Amoonguss off the field as soon as possible and going for
I feel like they're going to announce where Worlds is being held next, and then they're going to announce Pokemon stuff.
You can get maybe some sort of damage off early on.
Yep.
On Luke's side of the field, onto that Calyrex, it's half the battle.
If you do think that there is the possibility
Entei coming in.
a switch is great, and bringing the Entei out a lot earlier in the match will be able to pressure on this next turn, as when you're staring down a choice lock Pokemon on the opposing end, I'm not necessarily
Okay, just
too surprised
scout.
to see Protect coming
Fair
out
enough,
from
information.
Pokemon on Ray's side of the field. The Psychic Noise
Luke didn't really lose much then. He just got to reposition himself, which is nice.
to the Entei.
Yeah, and it's a nice patient play here from Ray. Again, just probably wanted to scout out what that Miraidon locked into and then adjust next turn going in after that decision's been made. But Luke making a really nice play here, not locking into the Volt Switch because...
Yeah, Luke did a good play there.
It's coming out from both these Pokemon, hard switching into the Entei, and now it's in a position where it is going to be able to Terastallize, have that pure immunity from the Astral Barrage because of the normal typing, and then start to pressure that...
Yeah, you can't be put to sleep if this electric drain's up.
Do you have something in the back that you could switch in from the Amoonguss? And if you are going down that route, it does leave the Calyrex a little bit vulnerable in that situation, where if a foul play comes out and you don't have that Rage Powder support, you're going to be taking heavy damage.
Yeah, Ray definitely has a couple of Pokemon that would be able to take a Sacred Fire better, but no swap and helping hand. This Entei, this could be a lot of damage, and we'll be going straight into the Amoonguss. There's no Terastallization.
In theory, you may be right.
Of this hit.
Regardless, I just want to watch Worlds. I don't really get a chance to watch Worlds much.
Special offense to really be able to hit on that go button. A Sacred Fire, it will connect, and Amoonguss will go down. Calyrex Shadow Rider losing its partner.
Yeah, and that's a big turn here for Luke, removing that key support option.
Foul play? No.
But the thing is, it's done its job almost. It's allowed that Calyrex to at least get a nasty plot up. Now sitting on +2 special attack, going to be able to threaten Luke's side of the field, but there is Terastallization active on both sides of the field.
Urshifu.
From Ray's end is perfect against that Entei is the Urshifu. It is going to come in and it is going to threaten with those Surging Strikes, do super effective damage. Even if it Terastallizes, you can just lock in with the close combat there, and you've got the Unseen Fist ability, so you don't even need to worry about the Protect. You can remove that Pokemon quite happily.
And when Entei is the attacking threat,
Mega Sableye,
and slower than this Calyrex Shadow Rider, I mean, the Calyrex can just start firing off attacks, and the Farigiraf, I mean, we saw how
I think you're right, Jade.
But at the same time, it's not really threatening too fast into this Urshifu, especially since it does have this Focus Sash.
Yeah, and the one thing you would say is that Ray does have access to that Terastallization, not using on the Amoonguss here, could go for it onto the Calyrex and get...
You guys get way too uppity about pronunciations of things, man. Just let it live. Okay, it's a new thing that's coming out.
We're not worried about defensive of all. We are making sure the damage output we have is what we need. Not the only Terastallization on this turn, though. Luke,
that's crazy.
Time to make sure your Pokemon
Giraffe.
make it on through the Dark type for the Farigiraf.
Yeah, it's going to boost that foul play even further.
Okay.
It's going to be weak now to that close combat. Has Ray kind of scouted that out and maybe covered that slot?
Okay.
Then the Calyrex might be in a little bit of trouble. Extreme speed.
Are we close combat Entei?
That's going to be breaking the sash
for
the importance of the Terastallization. Sure.
Yep, Stellar. Okay, Surging Strikes into Entei. No, into Giraffe. Oh, that's doing a lot because it's Terra on Terra, right? Or no, it's just Terra Blast that does like super effective damage. Yeah, never mind.
It does survive. Is it going to lock in with that foul play?
Foul play that fucking... Yes. Kill.
It's into the
Kill.
And will it be enough?
Yes.
Will be enough. Huge knockout for Luke to take a step further.
My goat.
Clawing back this match.
This Calyrex Shadow Rider that was so problematic.
Yeah, Pokemon Go's getting Dynamax.
Game of the set is now gone, and 2 Pokemon remaining for Ray. The adjustment, the Rillaboom coming on out, but Luke in so much more of a commanding position the last time around, thanks to this aggression and the Farigiraf that we talked about how little damage it can do, and proving us wrong. Huge Terastallization.
Yes, so surprising and a really great one because you do expect it onto that Entei. You think, okay, get the immunity from that Astral Barrage, but
he said,
Luke pulling the Master
I said,
really catching Ray
the once well trained. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Really give a little bit more alleviation.
Yeah, Surging Strikes is doing less now because it's like only the first time they use the move that it has extra boosted with Stellarite.
Surging Strikes though less damage because we've already used up the boost from that one, as Rillaboom is just going to be dealing that last little amount of damage into the Farigiraf to finally draw.
Back in the day, he was well trained.
At this point, it has done what it needs to do, and Luke can
He's
really
fat
bring
now,
something
so.
onto the field to support this Grimmsnarl, which in this case can
Let's
also try and
Farigirafing go.
make sure you outspeed and start going for these
Giraffe.
Thunder Waves.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The Thunder Wave going to be really useful.
The
here.
max EV
Really
mark.
reflect
Ah.
if you need to, but the
Good
big
to know.
important Pokemon that you want to bring out onto the field right now is going to be that
Miraidon.
overwriting the terrain.
Watch him be a Scarlet player.
And now you are instantly pressuring that Urshifu. The Rillaboom can resist, and it does have the Assault Vest, so it will be able to take those attacks a little bit better, but not considering it.
Okay.
Cancellation tied up. We are going to a game 3.
Damn, they should let us see their pictures, man. I want to see his profile picture. That was a Baxcalibur.
In the first, and really pressing on the pedal, and from the get-go, being able to be in such a better position with this Entei, and then all of a sudden having this backup damage.
Good play, good play.
of
Well
this
played, well played.
Farigiraf was absolutely fantastic, and being able to catch off on that turn, the survival past that Psychic, thanks to that immunity, and fire off.
Dude, I've been rooting for Luke this whole time.
Play was absolutely everything.
Yeah, the Sacred Fire here, as you're seeing, getting rid of that Amoonguss like early on in this match was really key. You thought things didn't look too good though. When the Urshifu came in, it went for that Stellar Terrestrialization, and it was really threatening that Entei. But the surprise there, the support Pokemon all the way through, they've just been chipping things down. Was the one to terrestrialize, getting rid, surprise KO onto that Calyrex. Maybe Ray got a little bit complacent in that little part of the match.
I mean, that's not going to be a mistake that's made again.
No.
That is absolutely for
You're
sure.
just rooting for
Just
Entei?
made
Simple man.
Just a little late at that point. Everyone gathered up here now. We got a game 3 for everyone here for our senior championship final. And so back and forth between the sets. I don't know which way this is going to go.
Yeah, so it's really tough to call because you look at Ray's side, if he gets that Calyrex, I think you want more utility out of the Amoonguss, because I think the one thing that you would say the difference between Game 1 and Game 2 was the Amoonguss was able to support for a lot longer, where it kind of got taken down really quickly without really much return in that second game, and that was the key. That's what Luke really needs to do. I think getting rid of that Amoonguss, getting rid of the Urshifu as soon as possible allows the Entei and then the Miraidon to kind of really have that big...
I'm so glad he's pissing everyone off with his pronunciation.
At the same time, you can't get carried away. You've got to keep that Calyrex in check. You've got a perfect Pokemon to do that though with the Farigiraf, you know? Comes onto the field, it gets that electricity boost, so when those physical threats like the Urshifu come in later on, it's not really so worried about them, especially with the Rillaboom.
Oh god, good luck blocking.
Physical threats that were at the end of that game too, but that Psychic Seed really helping out. Just let it have that longevity a little bit more that we might sometimes forget about because it's activated so early on, and Luke keeps it on the field that entire time.
For these trainers, one about to make history, one match away from becoming the world champion here in Honolulu in the seniors division. For Ray, a testament to the skill in the Scarlet and Violet era, and for Luke, the final way to be ending off his time in seniors. Let's make some noise and get into game 3 here. Adjustments, Calyrex next to the Urshifu, Farigiraf, Miraidon, yet again for Luke.
Yeah, nice adjustment here. Again, going from that Amoonguss into the Urshifu here. You've got that immediate damage. If you are the Calyrex, if you are the Urshifu and raise that the field.
Let's go, Jade.
Protect that Calyrex here. Maybe protect the Urshifu here. Scout out what the Miraidon's going to do again. Or do you try and play...
I'm more annoyed at people complaining about pronunciations than actual pronunciation issues.
That Farigiraf because of how threatening it was in...
Maybe helping hand Draco time.
That from the field. You remove the Armor Tail. You kind of free up some of your more options.
It's kind of it's difficult though because of the Sash or Shifu, like you just gotta attack it twice.
A little sigh of release when that Pokemon is
But then the Calyrex is a problem.
So far, we have seen the double protect on this first turn,
Yeah.
but Ray is gonna go on the offensive. Astro Barrage, nothing
Sheesh.
but a lot of damage into the Miraidon.
No.
Draco Meteor miss into the Calyrex. That could have been everything, but instead, Miraidon down on the very first turn.
Oh man.
That is so unfortunate for Luke, going for the Draco Meteor and missing. You would have got such a good return there from that Pokemon, keeping it on the field. The Psychic Noise coming into the Urshifu, taking it down to its
That's heartbreaking, man.
Ray taking a huge advantage because of that.
That's why we don't. That's why I fucking hate Play Rough. I hate Draco Meteor. I hate 90% accurate moves. They're not real. Bullshit fucking moves, man.
Losing the restrict on the first first turn. You can come back from that. If you have something like the Entei, there is possibilities, but absolutely devastating. This is going to be an uphill battle from this point on. In the Calyrex, it has not been damaged whatsoever. So even if the Entei does target into the Urshifu here to take it down, the Calyrex will be able to respond.
Yeah, we'll be able to respond, and it probably in that position now where it could go for a nasty plot here, maybe even go for a terrestrialization here because it's still available.
I mean, my simple brain is just extreme speed, the Urshifu, and then Terra Dark, foul play the Kali and get it out of there. But it's not as simple as that. Obviously, there's a lot of potential switches that could happen here. I feel like Ray definitely switches into something here.
If it is in the back though, that comes a little
Maybe.
bit risky
Yeah,
because
maybe.
your electric terrain is now on a timer.
In the turn 2, it's time for the trash.
Terra Dark, yep, okay.
Last time, game 2, we saw that foul play coming out from that Astralization.
No switches.
And what it was able to do to the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Can it do what the Baridon could? Not extreme
Nice.
speed. Urshifu goes down. Is there going to be the follow-up from this Farigiraf or a double KO onto this turn? We have to get past this Calyrex first. As
Okay, goes for the Entei. Entei, eat this.
instead, a lot of damage, but not enough.
Spit F drop.
This is going to be the moment, Mo.
Let's
for
go.
Luke to see if he can come back into this match, and it will be that foul play. Took the KO last time around, and it will again.
Yeah, I mean, okay, at least I'm not stupid. I said exactly what was going to happen. I said exactly what was going to happen.
Onto the field, I'm going to use that extreme speed. I'm going to get rid of the threat in the Urshifu.
We're rolling for Luke right now.
That successful terrestrialization on the Farigiraf. Take advantage of that boosted foul play and get rid
All right.
of the restricted. on
It's
Ray's
still
side
not
of the
over.
field, leveling the playing field going into this next turn.
We talked so much about the importance of the Entei, but this Farigiraf has been MVP.
Farigiraf has been MVP. Farigiraf is goated.
Down to final 2 Pokemon. It's the support and it is
I
the Raging
think it-
Bolt. The Raging Bolt, since it's been introduced in the format, has definitely been a force to be reckoned with. And this one does have the potential for that damage with that Life Orb. Can it do enough, though? It doesn't have access to that
3DS Luke.
Farigiraf, so it has to go slow
Stop.
but steady to take these KOs.
Yeah, the thing is, you really want to utilize that thunderclap.
True.
in this
No thunderclap.
situation.
All Giraffe is here.
Farigiraf on the field with the armor tail.
Yeah, it does.
Blocked until that Pokemon exits. The Amoonguss as well is going to be heavily.
Battle of the long necks. I didn't even think. He's looking up to him like dad. Father?
Scouting out a protect from Ray's side. The Entei going for a protect of its own.
Amoonguss as well, not wanting to take attack from
No
the
psychic
potential
noise.
Entei, so it's going to be the other 2
Thunderbolt into Giraffe.
Raging Bolt targets into the Farigiraf. It's going to be hanging on this turn, though. Not going to be full
tragic.
Psychic noise. Targeted into the Protected Mushroom instead.
Yeah, and that's a really nice play there. Getting some damage onto the Farigiraf as soon as possible. Prioritizing getting rid of that Pokemon is really what you want to do. We talked about the importance
Yeah.
of that armor tail. It is going to be something you have to remove as soon as possible to kind of free up the ability to use that Thunderclap. Some of those priority attacks that are going to be so useful in closing this game out. Maybe you have to sacrifice the Amoonguss here and go for that Rage Powder to try and draw in some of those big threatening attacks from Entei on Luke's side of the field.
Notable, there
Oh.
is still
Terra Fairy.
for Ray, so when the moment counts the most, we're going to be able to see the
Yeah,
sparkles
Terra
coming
Fairy.
onto the match, not for
So Amoonguss doesn't get one tapped by Entei.
So instead, wanting to make sure that this Amoonguss can stay
Yeah.
as long as possible. Into
He has Urshifu Rapid.
trying to make sure if his Sacred
I mean, yeah, I think it's Rapid. Oh, okay.
but helping hand.
That's not gonna be enough.
We get the damage here. Rage Powder, the Amoonguss is. You got the damage with the Raging Bolt. You need to keep this Pokemon safe. But
Okay.
is this going to be enough? You drop the weakness.
Not enough.
And you're gonna take this hit, but you take the burn.
It's a burn. It does survive, though. That's all Ray needs it to do for this one turn, because maybe that is enough to remove
Goes for the Entei.
from the field, and the Thunder will come out. A Thunderbolt enough to take that down, not into the Farigiraf, so that gets to stick around for a little bit longer.
All right, we got these 2 Pokemon.
Okay.
The burnt little mushroom.
Depends on what his last one is.
Borrowed time as we get into the ending of this game number 1.
That's Grimmsnarl.
This will be the
Okay.
Grimmsnarl, once well trained, as it's down to his final 2 as well on this full health.
Yeah, the Amoonguss now in a good position to just go for another one of those Rage Powders. Can the Raging Bolt get rid of this
I wish I knew their moveset.
on Luke's side of the field? And then it becomes pretty much a one-on-one situation. You've got the more offensive power on Ray's side. So it's all for Luke to do here. Rage Powder coming
Screens.
out as a light screen is set up.
trying to make sure that you can outdamage your opponent, not take too much, as Thunderbolt into the Vergraph, more than enough to bring Luke down to final Pokemon. And with the Sportive one, and the only move of choice being this foul play, does Luke have enough to close this out?
It's going to be very, very difficult. You'd say with the burn on the Amoonguss is really impactful here.
Ooh, Electricity's gone?
Has now disappeared, so that Grimmsnarl going to be susceptible to those spores. If the Amoonguss can get one of those off, maybe you take a chance to just protect the Raging Bolt one turn. Scout out that the foul play is going into that slot. Utilize the
Oh, wow, he forfeit.
But we're not going to have it.
Instead,
that's crazy.
Locked in, and with that, Ray Yamanaka is going to be your Pokemon World Champion here in the Seniors Division. A thrilling back and forth best of 3 set, and in the end, being able to close it out. First year.
He's a good sport about it, dude.
Violet, first game, first generation, and a world champion. What a feat! What an accomplishment!
Congratulations to Ray. Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one. That was a fun watch.
Start to finish, it was a testament to his play throughout. It looked a little bit dicey after that game too, but
yeah, the Draco Meteor miss was that. Yeah, that's Pokemon, dude. That's literally Pokemon. Masters happening after this. That miss was tragic, dude.
Are you going to bring it to this? Is it going to be that effective? But yes, it was effective. It was just what he needed in that end game. And the Amoonguss so pivotal throughout.
I think Luke.
Huge congratulations.
I think Luke
and to both of our finalists.
and Ray, they're both like phenomenal players. I think Luke played stronger, but that Draco miss was tragic. It's a part of the game, though, you know. Unfortunately, it's a part of the game.
Biggest of congratulations to Ray, and I mean, Ray had spoken about this being a tough tournament through and through, and Luke made him work for it in the finals, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely didn't make it easy at all, and that the adjustment in game 2 was so great to see. The surprise terrestrialization on the Farigiraf, catching Ray off guard, taking down that Calyrex was such an important turn. The big thing that you would say for Luke was very unfortunate going into that game 3. Pivotal turn with that Draco Meteor.
Dude, he was hyped. I can't blame him. I'd be hyped too. World Championship, give me all the RNG. Let me win. I want to win, dude.
Drawback somewhere, in Draco Meteor, sometimes that is going to be your downfall. And maybe if we had even seen the aggression from the Farigiraf in the opposing slot,
very fun best of 3.
That's such a hard call, because at the same time,
fair enough, honestly. Yeah, no,
moves,
I don't really watch VGC much, but I'm getting into this.
Hey, maybe it won't hit, so I got to cover. Because you still need to take care of the Urshifu in that spot as well. So that is so tough. Absolutely heartbreaking for Luke. But for Ray to be able to bring this to a 3-game and win in this end game was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think as well, to talk about...
I swear if I see another damn horse.
Pokemon, being able to take that Helping Hand, Sacred Fire, Pivotal...
Are you Team Ghost or Team Ice Horse?
To be able to protect that Raging Bolt, and just enough time to allow it to remove the really key parts of Luke's side of the field, and allow him to walk on.
It just shows you how incredible like these players are, though, when like they're just going 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and then when they get to the finals, it goes to 3 matches.
So worthy. These two were both so
Arathorn is mad.
And what a way for this finals to end. Truly speechless.
All right, before we get into the Masters, I'm gonna go pee. I'll just leave this on for you guys. I'll be back in a moment. Oh, 1 second.
Seeing the adjustments from each game to next, as Ray caught a little off guard by the aggression from Luke in game 2, and then game 3 being able to match it, to be able to close it out was just wow.
Yeah, it was very well done, and I think that's the thing where Luke was quite comfortable in that situation, saying, okay, I just need to get my Farigiraf into a position where I'm almost giving a false sense of security in a lot of ways, where the Farigiraf's, yeah, it's throwing out the Psychic Noise onto the Amoonguss or whatever is next to the Calyrex, but I'm not going to lock in with those foul plays, you said, and I'm going to maybe choose Helping Hand here and there to try and get that extra damage boost, but then at the right time, just perfectly timed, was able to terrestrialize that Farigiraf and really capitalize in that moment. Just wasn't able to take that into game 3, unfortunately, but more testament to Ray in that situation, because really not faltering, kind of sticking to the game plan, utilizing the perfect tools for the job to get over the line with that Calyrex, taking the opportunity when it's presented to go for that nasty plot, get that +2 boost, which is so important. And although you're sitting in front of most of the time a Pokemon that is a normal type, right, that you can't hit with the Astral Barrage, so you think, oh, maybe if the Entei goes for that terrestrialization, then I'm not going to be able to hit that either. But then you forget about the Psychic and how devastating that can be, especially when it's up to +3, +4.
I mean, what a set, and I think it's about due time that we get to hear from our new Pokemon World Champion.
All right.
Head on over to the stage to hear from Ray himself.
I'm here with your world champion, Ray Yamanaka. Congratulations. When you started
Exciting.
your journey to World,
Dog?
did you
Yes,
expect
there's a
that
dog
this
here.
would be the result?
世界大会に向けていろいろと準備してきたと思うんですけども、まさか世界チャンピオンになれると思いましたか？
全くそんなことは考えていませんでした。とても嬉しいです。
I had no idea that I would be the world champion. I didn't think I'd be able to do that at all, but I'm really happy that I did.
We're so proud of you as well, and you are upholding an amazing tradition of Japanese world champions. How does it feel to be representing Japan as a world champion?
The GOAT.
日本選手の代表として勝てたっていうことで、すごい嬉しいと感じてますか？
はい、とても本当に嬉しいです。
Yeah, I'm so happy I was able to win as a representative of Japan.
And is there anyone here cheering for you or watching online that you want to say hello or?
Yeah, he just started this gen, I think.
今見てるご家族とか友達とか今応援してくれてる人に挨拶とかメッセージありますか？
Yeah, translators are good. We love translators.
応援してくれた人たちに感謝しかないし、これからも頑張っていきたいと思います。
I have nothing but gratitude for everyone who supported me on this journey so far, and I will keep doing my best in future as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for an amazing match. Congratulations one more time for your world champion. And that's not all. We have lots more Pokemon coming your way, don't we, casters? Over to you.
Wow, what a phenomenal couple of finals we have had so far here on Championship Sunday, but we still have one more to show you. My name is Rosemary Kelly, and I'm joined by Lou Aktosh Chromie, and we are so excited to bring you the Masters Finals for the video game here at the 2024 Pokemon World Championships.
We only have one more champion left to crown here at the 2024 Pokemon World Championships.
Yeah, there's been a few staff fuck-ups, but yeah.
All the amazing games we have here, but now it is time for the Masters Division on the video game side of things.
And if you've been enjoying the action that we've had here so far, then make sure that you are signed up to get notifications. You can do that by scanning this QR code to get some email updates.
You want email updates from
and make sure
Postman
that you are
Pikachu?
all in the know about what upcoming Pokemon events and live streams and all the good stuff.
Hey, all good.
Pokemon
See you later,
Center have
Morgante.
coming your way.
You definitely want to stay informed of
Or Morganite, sorry, my bad.
action. And speaking of action, the top cut that has gone through for these Masters
I know there was a staff fuck-up where I think someone kept getting disconnected, and even though they were like ahead, so someone kept getting disconnected, and even though they were like up 4-3 because the opponent won the previous match, they gave the win to the opponent, even though the person was like ahead when, they just, I guess because of the time restraints, they just, they I think it's they're following the rules, so I don't know if it's necessarily judges fucking up. I think they're following rules, so let's.
Luca Cherrybelly, amazing player.
Yeah, I think both Luca and Yuta were so dominant in their top 4 matches as well, really going on the offensive and just being.
So I think it's like they're just doing their job. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily a staff fuck up, but I think it's more of a Pokemon Company International rules fuck up. They suck for the players a lot.
Unafraid to make some big plays to try to get that advantage either early on in the game or really turn the tides in their favor. So I think we're in for a good one, Lou, as we get ready to go for the very first
from Italy.
of this final match of the competition. It's just kind of been an amazing journey to get here.
I think that's the thing though, this World Championship was so coveted. We've been in Hawaii before, twice in fact, today being the 3rd
I'm rooting for
World
Luca.
Championship
I like his team more.
There's so much history being made, so much at stake for these trainers. The player pool was incredible. And now we're down to just 2 final competitors.
It's more it's more Pokemon rules. It's the same as like the stuff of like the scalping controversy. It's Pokemon's fault. It's not the play.
Place at the World Championships.
I mean, that's a great point because we had 694 Masters Division.
Taintinator, I heard that was Zacian, and I heard that it actually wasn't legit. But I don't know.
that is a testament to itself. This was the biggest World Championships we have ever had, and it's also the very first one we've ever had with a single restricted rule set. You've gotten a chance
I have so much respect for people. Yeah. No, there's going to be issues. There's always going to be issues.
But just in case you're tuning in for the first time,
so hopefully this one
very powerful Pokemon on either
run
side
better.
that a lot of these teams have been created around.
And it was a hot topic of discussion, right? You know, which single restricted is going to be the champion at the end of the day. And a lot of people were
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
Shadow Rider Calyrex that we just saw in the seniors division as well, and we're kind of rocking the fit a little bit for that Pokemon choice, but it's not to be for the Masters division. That restricted Pokemon is either going to be Miraidon or
Fairy Jade
both of
said.
those Pokemon have definitely been towards the forefront of what we would consider the meta heading into this event. Ice Rider Calyrex alongside Shadow Rider Calyrex, very consistent in terms of the damage output that it can have. With a spread type 100% accurate move, you know that your damage is always going to land. Similarly for Miraidon, this was a Pokemon that has an enormous special attack stat, also a very powerful signature move, even though it is going to be single target, but also how could you not love the purple dragon?
I mean, speaking of signature moves as well, obviously the Electro Drift, so much damage coming down.
But
as you said, it's single target. So if you want to have those spread type moves, you can look right at the Ice Rider Calyrex that's using that Glacial Lance to deal so much destruction on the field. It's really hard to avoid those attacks, obviously, as well, because they are on the more accurate scale, of course, and doubling down into both the opposing Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't think there were hack checks. I'm not sure, dude. I'm not sure.
It makes the Calyrex so formidable to deal with. So it's going to be a clash of the titans between not only the Pokemon, but two very esteemed Pokemon trainers as well today.
Even though we kind of expected to see Miraidon and Ice Rider Calyrex both towards the top tables of our competition, I think what's been so unique to watch is just how all of our trainers actually approached how to build around that. For Miraidon,
I don't know if I favorite
in the
it.
past couple of weeks, we've really started to notice a trend where Miraidon has been supported by Pokemon like Whimsicott, Farigiraf, but then it's sort of about how do you round out the rest of the team that becomes a bit more predictable. You always want to have sort of that Fire, Water, Grass core if you can, and in this case, we do end up seeing sort of a decision made between what type of fire.
Yeah, seeing it live is always fun, man.
On the other side of things, Utah made such a creative approach to building.
Do the team sheets have OT? If so, that would be a quick tell. I don't think team sheets have OT, no.
Some trainers opting for
They could always just check it in game.
Give an extra boost behind the damage of their moves. But then we've also seen a lovely change in transition to more defensive Terra types as well, particularly on Pokemon like Miraidon.
No, there's not going to be news till it's over.
It was reigning supreme when we first were able to access this Pokemon, but now coming into the Pokemon World Championships, we're seeing some more defensive plays, things like the Terra Fairy in action that not only provide some little defensive coverage from those powerful Draco Meteors and the Mirror, for example, but also potential Glacial Lances. You're dropping that Dragon type, getting rid of your Ice weakness, and boosting a cheeky Dazzling Gleam as well.
It is such a nice bit of coverage that you can have too. And we've seen Miraidon be able to close out games, kind of similarly to what we see from Ice Rider Calyrex being able to do the
How's it going, me, Blue?
Chip down those Pokemon enough, then the Miraidon can clean up the rest of the work at the very end of the day.
And sometimes you need a helping hand on your team as well, whether it is literally a helping hand from something like Iron Hands or the move choice from Farigiraf, for example. All those supportive Pokemon are the key components to enabling those restricted Pokemon to shine in their signature roles on the team. Iron Hands definitely is a Pokemon that since we got Miraidon
5-move Volt, yeah.
bringing that electric terrain, activating the Quark drive ability of the Iron Hands while allowing it to still look fashionable with its Assault Vest, has really enabled it to come back into the meta, and it definitely hasn't disappointed, and it's on the roster today.
It really has been amazing to see how Iron Hands has slotted itself back into the fray. At the very beginning of Scarlet and Violet, when it first became legal to use in the format, it was everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's so bulky, but now that it has a Quark drive and you get a chance to have that attack boost, it can also deal a significant amount of damage to shore up the matchups in a way that maybe the Miraidon can't necessarily do all by itself. But when it's come down to the Ice Rider Calyrex teams that we've seen, you know, what's sort of the evolution there is you look at Ice Rider Calyrex, it's naturally very slow, like Iron Hands, but Ice Rider Calyrex nowadays doesn't necessarily always have to operate in Trick Room to actually be powerful.
Well, sometimes the Pokemon can be slow, but let's pick up the pace here at the Pokemon World Championships. Let's introduce you to our two finalists in the Masters Division.
Fucking flashbang. Alright, Luca. Allah, this is what we're rooting for. That's so cool, dude.
Let's go, we've been waiting all year, and we're
it's Nate.
ready for this.
That's Nate, right? I'm gonna open Spotify.
Let's give them something to remember. We can give it all.
That's so cool. Nate got to do a song for them. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah, Nate, that's so cool. Let's go, Nate. Let's go, dude. That's fucking awesome.
Let's get right into your video game Masters Championship. Welcome to the stage from Italy, Luca Ceribelli.
I'm gonna add that to my playlist. That's my goat.
And from Japan,
That's my goat.
Ishigaki.
Let's go, Luca. Everyone I've rooted for so far has lost, so
All right, we just have a few moments before the match, so I just want to know how.
sorry, Luca, if you lose. Yeah, Nate wants to battle. Yep.
Great, simple answer. Very good. What about you? How confident?
I let the game decide.
All right, that's a good answer too. Let's hear it for your.
Let the game decide. Okay. He said.
I do too. Please take your seats, casters. Let's get right into this match.
He said, I believe in the heart of the cards.
We're going to keep it short and sweet here as we try to allow our competitors to get ready to go for this World Championships. So exciting because, Lou, we're going to be crowning a new world champion here this weekend for the Masters division.
I mean, Anna just asked the question. I definitely want to see them play, and it sounds like the crowd does as well. It has been such a journey for these trainers to be able to get through to the world stage, and both of them after that first ever world title for either of them. There can be so much history, so much at stake to be made here.
And there's so much support for them in the audience as well. We actually have a couple of friends and family staying by.
This is the finals. This is Masters finals. Yep.
Support for these competitors.
We were watching junior, senior, now Masters.
Thank you so much, you two. I am here with friends of our finalists. A few words, so I'm hoping to dive a little bit deeper. I have Arashi Mari and Hugh Mahara. One question each. I want to know, do you think Luca is ready to become a world champion?
I think so. Like before the tournament, I knew he was one of the best in the world. I didn't know if he was the best, but like after seeing how he went from 3-2 in day one,
He went 3-2 in day one.
winning 8 games straight.
Losing is an important part of Pokemon.
For Marathon, and then winning all the games in Top Cut. Like
Losing is more important than winning, to be
He's
honest.
the best in the world. Like if anyone.
That's where you learn.
Has an opportunity to prove it now. That is for sure. Yeah, let's hear it, guys. We got to make sure we got a lot of noise in here for our finals. But of course, you know, I have to ask the same. But about Yuta, do you think ready to become a world champion?
同じ質問をします。お友達の石垣選手は世界チャンピオンになる準備はできていると思いますか？
はい、本人に話を聞いた感じ、しっかり準備はできてるっぽいんで、みんなで応援して盛り上がっていきましょう。
Yes, from what I heard from him, he's very prepared, and I hope that we can all support him.
Dude.
And tell him to do his best.
I thought he was the translator. And that just threw me through a fucking loop. I thought he was the translator. I was like, why is he... What's going on?
Thank you so much for those words of encouragement for our competitors. There really is no surprise why both of them are here. We
Holy
talked about
shit.
being prepared and ready to go for this Masters Finals. Let's give you a little bit of insight why we expected to see them here in the first place. On your left, you have Yuta Ishigaki, who came into this event with just so much experience playing the video game, over 10 plus years having actually played this game, and also came in as one of the favorites from the Japan national circuit.
Exactly, so much consistency in recent times, as well as having over a decade of veteran experience that he's going to be able to pull on here and remain composed on the world stage. His opponent, however, in the form of Luca, has a lot of accomplishments as well. If we just look at his world championship history back in the 2022 World Championships, he finished top 64. The following Worlds in 23 finished in the top 32.
Dude, it's insane.
Even further here in
These guys are crazy. The thing is, right, everyone competing at Worlds, maybe not everyone, I feel like a lot of the players competing at Worlds, all of them are worthy of being champions. It just depends on what happens on the day. Like, obviously, Wolfie's worthy of being a fucking 2024 world champion. Like, everybody, like, not, like they're at Worlds. Like, they're all, some more than others are qualified, but like, it just depends on what happens. Like, we saw, like, the senior division, he missed a Draco, and that probably cost him the game. Like, he was qualified, he was ready to be the champion, and he missed Draco. You know, it just depends what happens.
He's going to be the one for me.
I was also on the fence about this one because I think there's so many different things that Luka can do in order to win this.
I love the skip bloom though.
Now, the onus is on Yuta to really set the pace of this match, to try to throw Luka off his game. And if Yuta can just kind of go for the gold in those first couple of turns.
Yeah, exactly, Jordan.
Game outright.
Plus, I am a lover of Miraidon, so I love to see that here in the final. Definitely one
Me
of
too.
be keeping my eye on as one of the newer Pokemon that we've been able to play with in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet as well. So it's nice to see it in its kind of first attempt here.
That's
on
so cool, Philip.
to see what it can do.
Yeah, but the Ice Rider Calyrex, it has been a little bit underrated as we've taken a look at maybe some of the online tournaments heading into this weekend, as a lot of our trainers tried to prepare for the very best of the tournament. But now I think...
No, I was not talking about Wolfie. I'm talking about the senior division.
An accomplished Pokemon for him. One thing, though, that Yuta has not faced yet, despite all of the preparation that he has put into this tournament, he has yet to face a Miraidon.
I don't know how Wolfie lost. No, he didn't lose on stream or anything.
In the entire tournament. Here are the finals.
Isn't that wild?
His on-stream game was insane.
World Championships, and this is
Dude, Luka's got some... They've both got some qualifications. None of them have won any of the events, though, it seems. I feel like Masters is a much, like, bigger pool of people and a much harder pool of people to beat. So that's why I feel like the junior and the senior division, I feel like we saw players stomp more, because I feel like there's just a few standout players in those divisions. Whereas these guys, like Masters, like, because Masters has just got the biggest age group. Like, it's 16 and above, and you're in Masters. You can be 16 or you can be 48 and you're playing in Masters. Whereas the other divisions have got like a lot less. There's a lot less people to play.
More often than not at the very beginning of the format, leaning heavily into that Trick Room mode. But as
that's why most people just watch Masters, because it's got the biggest pool of people. Yo, that Gallade is, or that Iron Valiant is squished.
But there's no tailwind on this Pelipper.
Exactly, but Yuta does.
Yeah, it's age separated. There's juniors, seniors, Masters. Juniors is ages 0 to 12. Seniors is ages 13 to 15. Masters is 16 and above.
You also have the utility to go for Trick Room in the form of Calyrex. So Yuta really does have that in control, and then we'll be forcing Luka to have to adapt to that very early on in turn 0.
And on Luka's side, with this Miraidon, again,
I'm rooting for Luka. I like his team. I like your team, G.
When you look at maybe how Luka might want to try to approach this game plan versus Yuta, you're really looking at the Miraidon, the Iron Hands, to be able to take advantage of.
I love the Whimsicott.
Miraidon is going to set, and potentially this Farigiraf.
How's it going, Vegeta?
That's the thing, it swings and roundabouts of the electric type Pokemon here. Miraidon on the very fast and offensive side. Iron Hands a little bit more stocky, a little bit more slow and steady. So
I mean, Valiant's got some good.
Adjust accordingly to whatever Yuta is throwing down, and you can see here perfect prepreparation, staying with.
It's got some good moves that just help. Attacking isn't everything, and it's like positioning is the most important thing if you just see, to be honest.
The very first game of the Masters Finals of the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. For Luka, you are right away going to see this Miraidon next to this Urshifu, but for Yuta, it is going to be the Pelipper and the Landorus.
This Landorus is in such a commanding position at the moment. You've got the rain on the field.
Let's go, Luka.
Not only allows Sans's Storm to be able to deal 100% accuracy, but Pelipper is also rocking that helping hand. If you can give a boost to the Landorus with Sheer Force as the ability, going through for something like a Sans's Storm, that is going to be able to remove the Miraidon from play.
And the Landorus, it sees the perfect target on the other side. This Miraidon with the Terra Fairy is going to be weak to the Sludge Bomb, but it's also being pressured down by those super effective Sanseer Storms. So this could be one way that we actually need to see Luka make one of these split-second decisions. Do you try to Terrasilize down? Do you try to get yourself off the field with something like a Volt Switch? It's going to come down to this first turn.
The Urshifu on Luka's side as well, having that Focus Sash gives it a little bit of flexibility. You can apply a lot of pressure with something like the Surging Strikes, particularly boosted up by the opposing Pelipper's Rain, and really kind of provide a way of getting
absolutely.
opposing Landorus. But let's see how this turn is going to play out.
Valiant just learns a lot of really good moves that like help.
One of those hits as well before the Pelipper may be able to follow up. But that's why this Miraidon is going to be forced to have to manually switch off the field. It's going to be the Iron Hands that takes its place, hopefully able to take these hits also. You see the attack boost come through from this Quark Drive as, look at that, there is a Terrasalization.
Yes, the Iron Hands joins the field. It is holding that Assault Vest, so it's going to be able
Ghost.
to, withstand a decent amount of the special attack that the opposing Landorus is able to throw its way, but it is going to go for that defensive Terra type into the Ghost typing here as well, as Pelipper does use its wings to give a helping hand to the Landorus.
This is one way that the Pelipper can bypass some of these speed interactions.
Oh my god, he tanked that. Good god.
It's going to be 3 hits, and this Landorus, that's going to be the only thing it gets to do for this game number
removing this threatening Landorus from play.
Yeah, it's got to be AV, dude. He hate that. No, dude. It's guaranteed crits, Robbie. That's the move. That's the whole point of surging strikes.
By Luca not only using that assault vest to take the attack, but enabling the Urshifu to come through and get that damage on the board.
It's a very tough turn for both of our trainers having to think about that, right? Is that Terra going to come through? Are you actually going to see a switch? And so both of them really.
Luca's got customized characters, so.
Decision. But where do we go from here, Lou? Because right now Yuta is going to be down one Pokemon and critically down the Terra. It's gone.
That's very true, and it's going to be interesting to see which Pokemon Yuta has in the back. If it is something like that Ice Rider Calyrex, you can start getting into a position where you might.
Yeah, Urshifu is just a dog shit Pokemon. Like, he's so insane.
We are going to see the Calyrex join the battle here now. This is your big offensive powerhouse.
All right,
again,
Ice Horse.
Utility with something like the
yeah, big prediction going wrong. Yep.
Here, just to be able to boost up some extra
VGC is insane. It's just such a different game, dude.
Damage with a Hurricane, because those do hurt, considering it's holding a life orb.
Yeah, but the problem here is
it makes sense because you're literally a Landorus in front of a Miraidon. It makes sense that you would think, oh, he's gonna think I'm gonna Earth Power, so I'm gonna Sludge Bomb his Terra Fairy. It makes sense. Like it makes sense. I probably would have made the same play. I probably would have played right into his hands. But like Luca's just like one step ahead.
It's a little bit of a bait here, actually, as Amoonguss joins the field. So we do see this kind of slower mode in the back that was kept for Yuta as the fake out comes through into that Amoonguss. Going to be able to retaliate with a little bit of Rocky Helmet as Pelipper does go for that Weather Ball.
Tank this.
Going to be bringing the Water type attack down into Iron Hands, but not enough to get the knockout. The bulk there really prevailing for Iron Hands.
Not quite enough, but now this Amoonguss is on the field. While it's not going to be able to go for something like the Spore because the Electric Terrain is active.
Yeah, Switch DLC mons are they're insane mons.
Opportunity here to go for something like the Pollen Puff or the Clear Smog, just get a little bit of damage down, but it can also go for the Rage Powder if it wants to. That's what we see with this Pelipper switching off the field.
This is what Yuta wants, though. You want to make sure that you have the Calyrex next to the Amoonguss so you can provide that redirection to enable a safe setup with the Trick Room. But it's always a little risky switching in, and at least if the it's going to be just the Draco Meteor straight out the blocks here into the Amoonguss. That's gone. It does not have the redirection.
Right on.
That's going to be another knockout here for Luca, as Yuta, just like that, is down to his 2 final Pokemon in this first game. The Wild Charge as well is going to have to be taken here by this Ice Rider Calyrex, and on this Electric Terrain, not only is he going to be able to get a boost from that, but you're also going to see that massive attack added in. The recoil, though, going to eliminate this Iron Hands from this game, but there's still so many more Pokemon that Luca gets to depend on.
I mean, honestly, Luca has played this so well. Losing the Iron Hands is actually a benefit because you get the option to bring your Urshifu back onto the field, and it still has its Focus Sash intact.
Yeah.
2 more turns this Electric Terrain as well for Miraidon to play.
I feel like it's a forfeit. Yep. Yep. Forfeit. Yep.
It looks like that's the forfeit coming in from Yuta. Luca's going to take game 1.
What an explosive start to this match as well.
Wait, oh, what the fuck? Was I lied to? I was told that to be on stream, you had to use... You had to use, like, one of their Nintendo Switches. But he's literally using a Switch Lite. That's gotta just be his own Nintendo Switch.
Just able to apply so much pressure with any electricity.
Maybe, like, once you get far enough through? Like, I don't know. Because people were like, oh, why is there no character customization in this game? Why does nobody customize their characters? But like, that's literally a Switch Lite. That's just a guy's Switch. I'm pretty, and their characters are customized. I don't know how it all works. Yeah, he dominated, dude. Yuta's got to make a comeback.
Had it been the Sandsphere Storm, you're still doing a critical amount of damage to both Pokemon, and so it's a little bit hard to kind of consider, maybe would that have been
absolutely
more to go for in that first turn, so you know that you can break the Focus Sash on that Urshifu and also just start to chip away at either the Miraidon or this Iron Hands that's switching.
Yeah, they're definitely using their own consoles. I love seeing a Switch Lite. That's so fire. That's Scarlet and Violet on a Switch Lite, dude.
With Pelipper on the field. So going into this game too, considering that Luca is now just 1 game away.
Yeah, maybe Svedonic, maybe.
Yuta, you have got to do everything you can to stop him in his tracks. Make sure that if you are bringing those powerful Pokemon like the Landorus, for example, that you're making those turn calls correct.
We did not get a chance to actually see Trick Room get utilized in that first game. I wonder if that is a strategy that Yuta could potentially rely upon in order
to single frame.
in some way.
That's how he wins. He looks at it as a slideshow.
Against each other, whilst they are both considerably on the lower side of that speed. but one option that you could see you to try to rely upon.
I would almost like to see the Calyrex coming out here with the Pelipper. You can provide some support with the Rain here as well as being able to go for something like that Weather Ball, deal some big damage out on the field, and enable Calyrex to get that Trick Room set up. You can also support with very powerful offensive Pokemon like the Landorus to try and get a knockout while Calyrex sets up. And you also have Amoonguss for redirectional support. Lots of options, but let's see what the trainers have gone for.
Well, there's going to be an adjustment here from Luca as we do get a chance to see this Ogerpon, Hearthflame, and the Miraidon. But here for Yuta, it is going to be that Iron Valiant finally making an appearance on this stream next to his Landorus.
Yuta is not slowing down, instead going on the speedy side here. You've got the Iron Valiant on the field. With the boost that it's going to get from Quark Drive, now it's going to be extra speedy, and you have the Choice Scarf on this Landorus. Iron Valiant's going to be the fastest thing on the field.
Okay.
And that Landorus not too far behind it either. And so now, Luca's going to have to figure out what to actually go for here. With this Iron Valiant, it is running Spirit Break, so that is one way that you can start to control a bit of the special attack output from this Miraidon, because you have no way to actually remove the terrain. So it's always going to keep that Hadron Engine boost to its special attack.
This is crazy.
The other thing that you have, though, is
just both hyper offensive.
You can consider trying to switch something in or go for coaching. There's a lot of options here for this Iron Valiant to provide in terms of support.
It's going to be tempting to go for the Spirit Break, though, to kind of force the Terrestrialization on the opposing Miraidon. But then Miraidon has that redirection.
You start Terra Fairy this time? Yep.
With the Ogerpon next to it to be able to provide that redirection. You do see the Terrestrialization come through, though. It has been forced. There is no Dragon type on the field anymore. A pure Fairy type Miraidon here. Something like a Dazzling Gleam would deal a significant chunk of damage.
Follow me, Ogerpon is crazy, dude. Are you doing Sludge Bomb? Tank that. He ate that.
Just a little bit of damage.
I feel like Sludge Bomb makes sense. Yep. Because it hits both. It's, yeah.
But it is going to be the Sludge Bomb follow-up that gets the knockout at the end of the day. But the most important thing is that this Miraidon is going to be alive, and also with full HP to go for the
Jesus.
which is a one-hit knockout.
You've removed one big threat from the field here, as well as enabling Luca the opportunity to now adjust.
I did not expect that to Oko. Holy fuck. I mean, I got, you know, a Valiant doesn't have good special bulk, right?
It's going to be the Iron Hands. We know that Fake Out potential is
fucking
on the field,
hell, dude.
as well as once again boosting up that Quark Drive and boosting the attack of the Iron Hands.
Oh, bring Miraidon back in. Just fuck it, bring him back in. Fuck it. Bring him in. Oh, it's definitely Specs. Yeah. It's trailing both sides, yeah. Calyrex? Yeah, that checks out. Yep, bring him back in.
Right now into both these opposing Pokemon. If you've got the Calyrex in play,
It's just Volt Switch isn't as strong of a move as Draco Meteor, though. But it makes sense. The terrain's up, the specs up. I don't know. I'm just used to Gallade having good special defense. It kind of caught me off guard.
Decent amount of damage out. You look at the Landorus with this Sludge Bomb, and it's not necessarily
Come on,
guaranteed
Toothless.
to be enough for a knockout in a lot of cases. So if there's any little bit of
It's like half the
damage
power
that
of
comes through, maybe
Draco
this
is.
Terra is able to withstand another attack. It's why this Terra is going to be so important to have preserved for something like this Ice Rider to have a defensive capability.
I almost wonder if the Terra on the Landorus could be good as well, though, because you know Fake Out's in the field with the Iron Hands. You're locked into Sludge Bomb, and you're going to be able to do a significant chunk of damage to the opposing Miraidon.
Yeah,
if you do
honestly, yeah.
like the Ghost
After Electric Terrain, yep.
avoid being hit by that Fake Out. But the Grass Terrestrialization is also a key component. A lot of decisions here for Yuta.
A lot of decisions and not a whole lot of time to do it, as he is down
Terra
again
Ghost.
in this set. One more win here, and Luca is going to become your
No.
world champion. So it comes down to this. The Ice Rider Calyrex going to take on that Grass Terrestrialization. He's going to have to hope that it can get through.
Yeah, this is the final battle, dude. This is literally the final battle. Shit. Fake Out.
But as there's going to be a Fake Out here, this Ice Rider Calyrex is not
Sludge Bombs into it. Miraidon tanks it.
Not enough to knock out this Miraidon.
Miraidon is not blind. Lando dies.
To becoming the world champion.
Let's go.
At this point in time, you needed the helping hands to be able to get the
Thank God Miraidon. Miraidon has his glasses on today.
to completely deactivate this Miraidon on the field. Fantastic play from Luca here, and you see the Amoonguss coming in as well. The last two remaining Pokemon for Yuta in his bid to become the world champion. Trick Room is not in play. However, Amoonguss can now go for a little bit of redirection. You know that the opposing Miraidon is now locked into that Draco Meteor. It's had its special attack dropped, so it's not.
Yeah, this is why I wanted Miraidon. I was like, dude, I want Miraidon to win. Prove to people you're not flop.
Then it is going to be an easier way to try to.
It's definitely not over. It's far from over.
And you will be able able to start dishing out some of these Glacial Lances. As Miraidon does
-2 Draco still does that much damage, dude.
decent amount of damage.
And no redirection coming
Wow.
from here. Instead, just the natural double target from Luca. Into the Amoonguss, the hands on. The Iron Hand's gonna take a little bit of recoil.
Oh no, the Glacial Lance is gonna fucking hurt, dude. Oh. Okay. That's that. Okay. Yep.
Now the speed
Trick Room is everything, dude.
in control potentially for this Ice Rider Calyrex, but we have to see how it's going to fare against something like this Iron Hands.
Iron Hands is definitely a Pokemon that can be trained to be very, very slow, and in some situations can indeed match that Calyrex in form. So we're going to have to see exactly how these trainers have trained their Pokemon in terms of speed and who is going to be the master. Amoonguss,
this is interesting.
Time here. There's no other Pokemon to switch out with, so the Regenerator ability is null and void. And because the electric trainers on the field, you cannot go for any spores.
3v2 doesn't mean anything when you've got fucking Chilling Neigh, dude.
Go for the redirection. You've got
Oh.
but I don't think that's going to do too much. Although into the Miraidon, it might be enough.
It might be enough, absolutely.
Oh?
But Amoonguss and Trick Room is going to be the first to move. Iron Hands is going to take a very pitiful amount of damage there. And as it goes for the Drain Punch now, it is going to get a little bit of recoil thanks to hitting into the Rocky Helmet.
And it went before the Calyrex as well, so able to get a little bit of damage back. This could be indicative of how they are trained indeed. Of course, Amoonguss does go down, and now Calyrex has the utility to go for that Glacial Lance.
Oh.
Instead, however, it's high horsepower. I mean, that's one way to do it. You get a KO, and you will get the Chilling Neigh boost as well, but Miraidon is yet to move.
It is yet to move, but it is at -4 special attack.
He said,
So
nah, he'd miss.
Maybe, as long as this is not going to be a critical hit, it is going to just do a little bit of damage at a time. Now that Miraidon is at -6, as the Farigiraf is now going to come in as that 4th and final here for Luca.
Okay.
This is not what you want to see. If you are the Calyrex here, not only is the electric
Oh, foul play. Oh no, foul play.
but it is rocking that foul play, and as your attack boost from Chilling Neigh gets higher and higher, foul play's potential gets bigger and bigger. Calyrex
Come on.
Glacial Lance, however, this is going to be enough to get the KO on Miraidon, but
Farigiraf, no way Farigiraf's gonna be the champion, the hero. The Giraffe win.
Attack coming in from
Come on.
and so as
Oh, it's gonna do even more damage.
it's going to be even more detrimental as the
GG. No? Oh my god, he tanked it. That I did not expect him to tank that. No. He could miss. Nope. I think Glacial Lance has got it. That was crazy. I expected him to KO. I forgot he's not a fucking Psychic type anymore. GG, dude. Yeah, no, that was crazy.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm not even in my seat.
That was a crazy battle, dude.
Oh my goodness. Here we go.
I cannot believe that down to the wire that went.
Yeah.
So much to take away from the last couple of turns of that game. As we ended up seeing the Trick Room get set up, the Iron Hands did move first in Trick Room. What an interesting takeaway from that game.
Trick Room was honestly very interesting here.
Mhm.
Not only with the speeds, like you said, with the Iron
That was
Hands,
crazy, dude.
Calyrex interesting, but the key thing for me was that Amoonguss, it was able to hang on 2 hit points remaining. That was the completely pivotal thing, and you can see the celebration there from Yuta, knowing that that was clutch to be able to close out the end game. But also, I love the turn where that he set up the Trick Room and did not go for the redirection, instead going, okay, Luca,
Amoonguss is the GOAT.
to the opposing Calyrex, then it's
How you doing, by the way?
doubles down into this
Stockholm King.
and I allow it to have the Pollen Puff boost. That's exactly what Calyrex needed in the end game as well. So fantastic to see that come into play.
It did. You could see just how much the HP differential got made up there from that Pollen Puff.
That was a crazy battle, dude.
I mean, there you
That
go.
was hype.
Even just being able to deal that Rocky Helmet chip, you could see Luca was a little bit disappointed not being able to actually get the knockout there. And so as this Iron Hands gets to go for another attack, it has to take that high horsepower, ends up getting knocked out for all of its troubles. But then we finally get into the last couple of moments where it's the Farigiraf with the foul play versus this Ice Rider Calyrex that had those attack boosts from Chilling Neigh.
Honestly, that can be so detrimental if you get those attack boosts up.
Yeah, no.
Foul play is capable of.
Same, that rat, same.
35 hit points remaining, and I would be so interested to go back and do the math.
How's it going, Winter Raven?
Was indeed super critical.
If you want to try, do it, man. You could. I think you could do well. If you put the effort into it, put the time into it, you could definitely do very well.
Just meant that it was going to be a fall for the Giraffe there, but now
The Giraffe.
it is game 3. One game separates these two trainers from world champion and runner-up.
Cannot believe this is what it all comes down to. You can feel the energy right now as both of them get locked in and ready to go for this 3rd and final game. We ended up seeing a really
Hey,
good
abuse
adjustment
giraffe,
of them as
yeah.
well as we headed into the second one. The Ogerpon Hearthflame there for Luca. The Iron Valiant making an appearance there for Yuta. And even though we didn't get a chance to see the Iron Valiant do too much, it did force out a Terra that helped Yuta navigate through that game just a little bit better. But Lou, everybody, let's get ready as Game 3 is upon us here at the 2024 Pokemon
High roll against what?
between Yuta
Against the giraffe. It had an extra attack boost, so I don't think it mattered. Yeah, plus single target. Yeah, I don't think it mattered at all. I don't think it was a roll at all.
Both of them on the field right now. It kind of forces your hand. What sort of mode would you potentially want to go for? And let's not forget that this Iron Valiant.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought that was Game 3. That's how I'm just locked in.
Attack stat of this Ice Rider Calyrex right away.
I mean, if you go for the Terra Grass as well on that Calyrex Ice Rider, you're in a difficult
Me
spot
too,
here.
Patty. I want Farigiraf to be on the winning team.
From the opposing Miraidon, Draco Meteor will be neutral, but you are fearing that opposing Ogerpon. If it wants to go for that Fire-type Ivy Cudgel, it is going to be dealing a huge chunk of damage. But whether or not with the coaching, being able to boost up your defense as well, that's going to be able to put you in a survivability spot, is yet to be determined. And if there is not a Terrestrialization coming through from that Miraidon, a Glacial Lance is going to...
It's the World Final. You gotta go to Game 3. You have to. Otherwise, like, you know, what are you doing?
As we do see the leads on the board. Do you also continue to think about Trick Room setup in this moment? I wonder.
It's just mind games, dude.
Capability here, and really Yuta is in.
Oh, okay.
What's it going to be? Redirection coming through from that Ogerpon, drawing in all of the attack potential. Maybe some
coaching.
But instead, it's going to be that coaching coming through. And as you can see, Calyrex is going
Oh,
to
Glacial Lance, huh?
and the defense that is not redirected by the
Oh, into the
Meteor into that slot. It's not going to help you with that with your special defense, but this Ice Rider Calyrex does hold on as it gets to set up the Trick Room.
Now the speeds are very, very interesting. The Iron Valiant in a little bit of a detrimental position, but you could always use this opportunity to switch something in from the back or let the Iron Valiant go down, be happy for it to be KO'd and allow it to try and go for something in return here. You could always maybe switch out for something like the Amoonguss, maybe just get some Rocky Helmet damage here, but for me it's about the Calyrex.
Trick Room is the fucking. It's like I think every team has been using Trick Room in this. Like there's been always a team of Trick Room. I thought that would kill too, to be honest. He's probably like specially trained to live Dracos from Specs Miraidons though. Like it makes sense.
Get a big knockout onto this Ogerpon, but also depends on maybe how these are trained. But at the very least, you've scared away this Miraidon. It is going to retreat, and instead, it is going to be the Iron Hands that takes its place. So let's see what happens from here after we see this attack boost for the Iron Hands.
Well, Yuta doesn't necessarily want to see this Iron Hands. We know that it has the potential to be faster in Trick Room against that Calyrex, and with the very low HP remaining, it's got something like a Fake Out, should be able to get the edge on it. The Pelipper joining the field, though, bringing that rain is just going to enable none of these Fire-type attacks to deal as much damage, but Ogerpon playing defensive.
Oh wait, he celebrated. He must have predicted right.
You are actually going to have it on the field a little bit longer. It's going to deny a boost, another boost to this Ice Rider Calyrex's attack, but as it's going to be the Iron Hands that has to take its place. It has the Assault Fist. It doesn't necessarily have a way to boost up its defenses, so that's over 50%.
You can fake out.
It's going to take from a single Glacial Lance.
If I'm the Iron Hands now, I've got a decision to make. Do you go for the Fake Out into the Calyrex?
If I'm the Iron Hands, that's such a funny sentence.
And then you wouldn't go for
Glacial Lance is 100% accurate. I did not know this. I thought Glacial Lance could miss. That is such a bullshit move, dude. Precipice Blade's 85%. Glacial Lance 100%.
Into the opposing Ogerpon.
That's why we're going to see the Amoonguss actually end up taking this Pelipper's place instead of the Calyrex.
Me when I'm an Iron Hands.
So it doesn't have to fear a Fake Out. Fake Out
nice.
Go into the Amoonguss though, so now that you see that come through, it's going to be a little bit more Rocky Helmet recoil and the Ivy Cudgel going into the protected Calyrex.
I really like this play by Yuta. It's sacrificing a turn of Trick Room to
I don't watch much VGC at all. I just know bits and pieces.
It can go for something like the Pollen Puff and have that Calyrex regenerate a little bit of HP, particularly with the rain in play. It gives it a little bit more defensive support. Or at the same time, you can go for that redirect.
Astral Barrage, I honestly thought they were like 85% accurate for some reason. I think it's just because strong moves like that typically are. But for some reason, these guys get a pass, I guess.
If you try to redirect away something like an Ivy Cudgel, or even just a Wood Hammer, this Calyrex is already not going to be sitting at a very healthy amount of HP. So as you head into this next turn, we are going to end up seeing a Terrestrialization first. And let's see what it's for.
Nice to see it a little bit later in the game, but it is indeed going to be on the Ogerpon here, dropping its Grass type and just becoming a fully fledged Fire type in this rain on the field here, trying to maybe use that Embody aspect to boost up the attack stat and get rid of this.
Yeah, I know. I said that already, TK Knowledge.
The Rage Powder means it's going to work because it did get rid of that Grass typing. So it's going to
Okay.
Draw this attention away from this Ogerpon, as it also has to take the low kick. Another little bit of chip damage down to this Iron Hands as the Glacial Lance hits into both
Neutral.
of these targets. The Iron Hands is definitely going to go down, and the Ogerpon, now that it is removed,
I feel like Glacial Lance should be 85% accurate, man.
that damage. It's still going
It does make you think that like DLC mons being that busted
the Ivy Cudgel going to come through in the rain down.
is for a reason.
It's going to be able to hit hard, and it is enough to get the knockout.
Good.
Ooh, the knockout even through the rain. That is what you can see from just this
That's
aspect attack boost.
Ogerpon's
trying to help out there.
fucking.
It allows you to
That's what Ogerpon's all about, baby.
And this Calyrex in Trick Room is still going to be one of the faster things on the field, but it's going to be the Farigiraf now that's going to take this Iron Hands' place.
This gets very interesting now. You've got the defense boost coming through from the Electric Sea, but you've also got Pelipper, generally on the slower side Pokemon-wise on the field. But whether the Pelipper or the Farigiraf are going to be able to move first could be critical here. Pelipper in a prime position to target down something like a Weather Ball into that Ogerpon and remove it from play. At the same time, Farigiraf doesn't want to have to take another one.
So here, DLC mons are always OP, it seems.
Maybe doubled up from the Pelipper could be enough to get the KO. You have got the Ulla boost. Ogerpon may go down to another Glacial Lance.
This is the last turn of Trick Room, though, so we are going to have to see Yuta try to make the most of it. And while you have all of these boosts intact, even the sliver of HP means that you will be up. And
I feel like Giraffe would not outspeed, right? I feel like Cali's slower, right?
There is also this terrassalization on the Ogerpon.
I thought Cali was slower.
Can actually terrasalize to a water type to try to resist some of this damage. So we see the Ogerpon go.
Cali Ice Rider is 50.
Play to make sure that it will be one of the
Farig is 60.
this Trick Room. So
Yeah.
when we do see this attack from this Calyrex Ice Rider, it is not going to end up attacking.
No, Cali's base speed is 50.
the Ogerpon there. But critically, we also don't see a helping hand from this Pelipper. But the
Nice.
going for the foul play will get the knockout onto the Calyrex. But what is this Pelipper going to do?
Pelipper's gonna
There's too much that it can do here. The foul play
Weather Ball.
removing the restricted here.
Yep.
Pelipper was going for the Weather Ball. It is finding its mark.
Farig is gonna go down.
Rain boosted, Life Ball boosted. It gets the knockout.
Okay.
But both these trainers now
So we got Valiant and Pelipper.
Pokemon. Pelipper's going to be joined by the Iron Valiant, and it's going to be the Miraidon joining the
Twisted Dimensions return to normal. Electricity. Oh, it's gonna go back up though.
This board state, we have the Iron Valiant that's going to be coming back in for Yuta, which
Ooh.
outside of Trick Room, now that that's expired, is going to be faster than this Miraidon, especially because Miraidon is going to reset the electric terrain as it comes back in.
That's very true, giving a natural
Wow, this is. I feel like this is in Luca's favor, but I don't know. The rain is up.
on that Ogerpon, so there's no fairy terrestrialization that can come through from this Miraidon.
Valiant speed has been heightened.
The thing for Ogerpon here is that redirection.
Spirit Break into Miraidon. Maybe not. Oh wow, this is. Yeah.
Spirit Break from the Iron Valiant.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's.
Miraidon needs in order to get some damage down on the field. You
It's anybody's.
the potential of a White Guard on the opposing side. So I think you've got to lock in something that's going to be boosted.
I don't think it dies. I think it can take one hit.
I think it's time to see it.
This is a scary final match. It's 50-50s on 50-50s, dude.
Miraidon did into the Iron Valiant before,
Ogerpon has
so
Follow
we know
Me.
that an electric drift would certainly be able to
Pelipper can Terra Grass, but then there's a fire type across the field that'll just one-shot you. Maybe not one-shot you. Pelipper's got good defense.
But you take a look at this.
Yeah, this is a. This is just 50-50s on 50-50s, dude.
So it's going to be completely vulnerable to any electric type attacks that are coming its
What's
way.
Valiant's Terra type?
Have got the terrestrialization in your back pocket. Yuta needs to unveil
Guess we're trying to find out.
exactly what we're seeing, Rose.
Trick Room is over. Yep.
Into potentially one of the
Pelipper Grass.
of this Masters Finals. The Pelipper going to take that grass typing, a great way to be able to resist these electric type attacks from this Miraidon, but you do make yourself a bit vulnerable to this Ogerpon, even if
Okay.
it's rain. Helping
Oh, he's gonna go for the Miraidon.
Iron Valiant. Do we end up
Spirit Break into Miraidon. Nope. Yep. Of course.
The helping hand boost, though, is still going to be able to come through. Spirit Break, fastest thing on the field, connects down into the Ogerpon, but not enough to be able to get the knockout. And as a physical
Miraidon, don't miss. Miraidon, lock in. Never mind, it's Electro Drift.
The Electro Drift into this Iron Valiant is going to be enough to secure the knockout here. You see the headset come off, and Yuta knows this
Yep.
might just be all she wrote. This Pelipper, this last bastion of hope here for Yuta to try to get through this game, but the rain
Nah.
has stopped. The protection is gone here for this grass-type Pelipper, and
I really wish they wouldn't cancel battles. I wish they would just see it through to the end. That's just a personal gripe. Let's go, Luca. That's who I was rooting for. That's such a cool winning team, dude.
is your 2024 World Champion. The flames are ablaze, the engines engaged, the drive and determination to win was detected. For Luca Cherubelli, an encore of applause is completely deserving for our champion and the Pokemon who gave him a helping hand to victory.
Yeah, I'd rather be played out. An Italian world champ.
So fantastic to see
And that, just like that, Gen 10 is going to be in Italy.
That we have seen come before him. This is a player that has worked so hard for this moment. In 2023,
that was such a good battle, dude.
One of the best seasons ever. You talk about all those top 16s that he's been able to have, the top 8s, getting a second even in Bologna this season, right before we've made it to this World Championships.
What would be the point? The game is donezo? Because it was donezo. Just click the button and let it be seen to the end. Why have the battle end on the battle was cancelled? That's just lame. The game was literally done. Just one more turn and you lost. Just take it. Yeah, I don't like it. It saves time. How? Alright, you guys are just you guys could literally just defend anything. Good God, man.
And commiserations we have to say as well to Yuta Ishigaki. Fantastic play, so much offensive pressure coming through from the Iron Valiant and the Landorus, as well as being so dominant with some interesting speed alterations. But Luca was, I think, constantly in control of the play. And it's so
Gen 10 is going to be in Italy, dude.
of just how many unique adjustments Yuta really did have for this Calyrex Ice Rider team. Very interesting picks.
I mean, it's not even RNG, yeah, just... Yeah, I've heard of the recent Disney lawsuit, yeah.
Matchup. The Landorus being able to deal that super effective damage or force a Terra. You also just have this Iron Valiant that
it saves, it's anticlimactic and it saves 10 seconds.
Very calm, cool, collected, and also not afraid.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, it's good swordsmanship just to play it out. I agree.
First game, thinking there's a sludge bomb on the other side. I don't have to worry about
if it's the final match and you're losing, yeah, just play out. That's just a personal thing. Maybe it was just muscle memory for him. He's like, oh, I've lost, I'll just forfeit. You know, it's just a personal gripe. It doesn't matter that much. It's not that serious.
Actually, it's not just about the Pokemon on the field. Sometimes you have
why play? You just click A then. Just click A. If it's a lose-lose, why do you have to forfeit? Just click A.
Yuta was writing and was constantly able to adapt. That turn one play.
See the animations of the win.
Bringing in the Iron Hands.
The announcement would be coming after.
Was completely neutralized, as well as going through the rest of the set, making sure
sorry, my brain's. Announcement's coming after the winning ceremony, I imagine.
And as we
which is going to be coming up just
yesterday.
Here.
It's just been so great to see his growth over the course of this tournament. Those top 4 matches, that top 8 match already just so stellar in terms of the play we got a chance to see from him. But let's go ahead and relive some of these moments from this third game. We saw right away this Ice Rider Calyrex didn't necessarily end up getting knocked out to that first Draco Meteor, but Yuta was able to start to kind of mobilize through these Trick Room turns, potentially win this game.
I think things got very difficult here as well, with the Calyrex applying a lot of pressure, getting those chilling nade boosts as well. But the critical thing, I think, was actually at the very end, that last turn of Trick Room, going for the defensive play with the spiky shield, knowing the Miraidon had been preserved in the back for later with so much damage of Electro Drift. I think, again, timing it perfectly when Electric Terrain had left the field, being able to reset that with the Hadron engine.
2026. Yeah, I think Matthew Kidder got the right idea.
Calyrex going down here as well, unfortunate for Yuta.
Was very unfortunate there, but I think also just Luca being able to play through these Trick Room turns and preserving this Ogerpon was so important, despite the fact that he ended up terrestrializing it to this single fire type and actually removing its capability of being redirected from this Amoonguss. It was still able
Gen 9 World Champion remix. Yeah, I wish there was, dude.
To know that it could be there by this Miraidon at the very end to remove the biggest threat. That Iron Valiant no longer able to go for something like that super effective Spirit Break, and it was just amazing.
Yep, 30 years of Pokemon, dude. It's insane.
Potentially get through this really unique matchup. It was Luca, and congratulations to him.
Let's hear it for your world champion. Luca, I know it's very fresh in your mind, but what do you think will stick out as the most memorable moment of your Worlds match?
I really don't know. I just feel like just the moment that sealed the game. I think this all I'm thinking about right now. Just the screen saying I won the last game, so I really don't have much else to say.
Yeah, I'd be fucking speechless, dude. He deserved it. Good shit.
Right now, but what the most important moment for me was right after, when I was able to celebrate with my friends, which is the best feeling in the world.
Oh, I can imagine.
It must be overwhelming. We know you have put in so much work. You've had other top finishes, and you've been practicing and playing. There are
We're
people
just
out here
watching
who
the
are thinking, you know what, I want to be
the
like
winning
that.
ceremony.
What advice would you give them to work hard and end up on this?
I think Spain is not going to take place because apparently there's some laws in Spain that doesn't allow. It just doesn't allow like prize money to be won. It's something. Look at the reply Joe Serby made to me on Twitter.
Trusting yourself, something like that. Yeah, just train. Like I can assure you, with the right friends, with the right preparation, with the right support.
Let's go France. Let's go France. Let's go Canada. Let's go Canada.
Great advice. Believe in yourself, practice hard. And there are a lot of people out here who believe in you as well. You said you were celebrating with your friends.
That's
Anyone
awesome,
you wanna
dude.
Say hello or thank you to right now.
Well, if I'm gonna go name for name, we're gonna be here until tomorrow. So shout out to my friends of Il Server and all the Italian community.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support and congratulations again, Luca, your world champion. Now don't go anywhere.
Scotland,
We have
please.
some trophies to give out. But for now, back to you, casters.
Such a deserving champion. What a series. The entire day has been nothing short of fantastic. That was so back and forth, Gabby.
It really was, and you could tell that both these trainers were just leaning in on those predictions for that end game. That was such an exciting match. I would have loved to see Calyrex Ice Rider win, but that was such an amazing game played by Luca and his Miraidon.
Thoughts, guys? Because honestly, I was out in the crowd for that, and everyone just
I love this other wing plush
when
too.
Luca won.
Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible. So happy for Luca after seeing him kind of progress through this season, the top 8 at UIC, getting so close in the Bologna special event, and then coming into this event and just having an absolute amazing showing coming into the final against such a hard opponent as well. And at times it looked
Yeah, the only person I root for got the
against the
W.
wall and there wasn't really a way out, but really just staying resolute.
Someone help that Marsh down.
in such dominating fashion.
I'm really happy that we got a game 3, right? That's, I feel like, as
The set designers are so funny, dude.
big wish we're always hoping for is to get to that pivotal game 3. But between both of them, we saw the fast modes, slow modes. It's very fitting that Miraidon wins its first World Championship in the Scarlet and Violet era that it's eligible for. So I think Miraidon was the real big meta call this weekend that players got rewarded for, and it got rewarded in the Masters division as well.
Not even just the meta call for this weekend, but from the get-go, the second we had Regulation G, trainers were on this Pokemon from the start, electrifying win at the very first regional. It hasn't really slowed up from there. There was definitely good contenders along the way. Ice Rider almost did vie for the title, and even throughout the different
Dude, those mics are
championship
insane.
matches that we got to see,
Like the mics were like, unless you're talking directly into it, it doesn't pick anything up. Like those mics are insane.
It really did, and it goes to show you that even if the metagame feels like it's in a position where, oh, only Calyrex Shadow Rider will win, oh, only Miraidon will win, there's a lot of opportunities for innovation, and we saw a lot of unique Pokemon picks, such as that Iron Valiant, such as Iron Treads from our juniors match, Joe, to try and capitalize on the fact that Miraidon was going to be one of the more powerful ones here.
Monodirectional, yeah, there you go.
A couple of quirky Pokemon across the board.
My mic is kind of like that. Not quite as crazy, but
To be in the grand finals here, which is absolutely
you meant to talk directly into it. Hello, guys.
With a Pokemon that maybe people didn't necessarily expect to.
I have the YouTuber mic that every YouTuber has. This is the YouTuber mic.
Amazing, but Luca did such a good job.
It's a good mic.
Weathering that and coming out on top and just really good positioning. The Iron Valiant.
You know a lot about audio, man. I respect it.
Didn't really get to do too much.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was just Luca able to kind of preserve the Ogerpon at the very end when it really mattered to have that follow me, to utilize, to pull that big threat out of the way and allow the Miraidon just to kind of finish things up. Like you say, Miraidon started the format successfully, and it's kind of poetic. It's ending the format successfully. Just an amazing job by Luca, and kind of look at that run and the opponents that he's had just from that top 8, not to mention everything from the entire weekend.
Yeah, and I do think big credit to, I think Lee pointed it out, the thematics of having 11 years later an Italian champion facing off against a Japanese finalist. It's very poetic to see here.
It really, really was. I mean, I love these photos. I just have to say that from the gate. There is so much personality on it. But I mean, even when
I'm glad that they let them be fun and like just he's like,
and stuff, Joe Brown, I know
look at my skip loom.
you're always about those fun facts and those stats.
I am a
It's a
big
skip
fan
loom.
of fun facts, and for those who like to know useless information, they keep track of the Pokemon that win the World Championships in the Masters Division every single year. So we go back counting from 2009, and Utah unfortunately did not get Amoonguss that 4th victory. So Amoonguss is still tied at 3 for the most World Championships in the Masters Division with Incineroar, Salamence, Thundurus, and Cresselia. But other fun facts.
That's crazy.
World Championship here for Luca. Iron Hands 100% win rate, 2 for 2 on Shohei's team and Luca's team there. Urshifu 2 out of 3 years, and now Farigiraf getting some revenge. Maybe Michael Kausch a little proud in the crowd, moving from finalist last year to now world.
I'm glad Farigiraf is good, dude.
I mean, Kyle, someone that maybe next year, because these runs back to back have been insane. But for those
Dude.
individuals on that list,
You can't be mad about winning 20k though, right? You can't be mad. Can't be mad at dude. 20k for second place. Fucking hell.
Yeah, not only do you get your invite as well for becoming a semi-finalist here at the World Championships. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I know we don't know where we're going yet, but I would hope that the prize money would be enough to afford a very extravagant trip to wherever Worlds will be next year.
hey, you can get some plushies. You can get yourself a nice dinner with your friends after this weekend. Enjoy your time.
Yeah, Luke was buying.
Could have been 30k, but I mean 20k, I'll take it. And an invite too. Yep. They both played incredibly well, dude.
And I know the money. I mean, it's absolutely great, but being able to be a world champion after this weekend, getting that trophy.
That Slitherwing plush, dude. I need that. I need that Slitherwing.
For sure. And what's some great memories as well. I mean, we've seen this throughout all of the video game championship finalists and champions, with all the family there supporting them, all their friends supporting them. I mean, what a moment for these trainers.
It's fantastic. I mean, even Luca was saying, like, this moment of jumping off the stage.
I love competitive Pokemon, dude.
Fantastic.
It's those moments.
Dude, that's that Sprigatito plush too, though. That thing is huge, man.
When a champion is crowned and they jump into the crowd, and you've got all.
Oh, I can imagine World's crazy merch. Yep.
Kind of celebrating together. It's just a magical moment, and you know this one is going to be immortalized now. Luca is the 2024 world champion. It's incredible to see. So happy for him, and obviously everyone that is around him supporting him throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I think nobody's going to forget him jumping off stage with the fire going off. Very, very iconic, similar to Sejun's spin move, right? Everybody remembers that from his victory, and I think it was just so cool. Immediately understanding not only was this a big win for him, but for his community, for his friends, really, you know, appreciating being happy with himself with a victory.
The battles are won. Closing ceremony will start soon.
Definitely
right.
One of my favorite moments, if not the top favorite moment. But of course, we want to make sure that we can hear about your favorite moment and share it on Shoals what you've thought of this weekend, who you're cheering for, what you enjoyed, and from every facet of the Pokemon World Championships, because we only get to cover a little bit of what's here in Hawaii, but it has been a great weekend overall. There's still a smidge more for today, though, because of course we have our trophy ceremony over on the stage with Anna.
Wow, Championship Sunday really has been something to remember. You all came to watch the show. None of our trainers.
It's gonna be 9 a.m. It's gonna be 5 a.m. for me, dude. I expected to be up till 4 a.m. at the latest. So, oops.
Shout out to everyone who played at events this year. Locals, regionals, internationals, and of course at Worlds. You are the reason that we're seeing such high caliber professional play here at Pokemon.
It is Pikachu, dude. Look at this fucking dude. Look at this guy in the suit. Hawaii time zone, hell yeah.
Some champions to crown. Please first give warm congratulations to your junior.
No, Matthew, we want to watch the people that won get, you know, rewarded. Stop being rude, you entitled so-and-so. Ah, I see.
And now, let's hear it for our video game junior champion.
Dude, I wanna be the guy in the suit too, man. You know, I looked at Twitter. This guy follows me on Twitter, and I was rooting against him. I feel bad. No, he's GOAT, dude. He's the GOAT. I just didn't like the horse, that's all. But you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You're crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I know.
Next up, our video game senior finalist. Let's hear it for Luke Crow.
It's just horse hate, yeah, for real, dude. This guy, they both played out of their damn minds. And I also just wanted the little guy to win. I was like, dude, this is such a, like, this little kid, he's playing out of his mind. That's awesome, dude.
Next up, our video game senior champion.
It's just the fact that their generation was last generation. Let Miraidon shine. That's all. For real though, congratulations to all these guys. These guys went crazy, man. Oh yeah, Luke Kroll. Fucking such a sick name, dude. Coming second is still huge, dude. Even coming like top 8, top 32, like you're like one of the best people in the world at something.
And now for our Masters division. Your video game Masters finalist is Yuta Ishigaki.
Crazy, dude. I can only imagine like the adrenaline running through these guys, man. I get like adrenaline for like the dumbest shit. I can only imagine how much adrenaline they have. Maybe I'm just built wrong, but like I'm sure the trophies are very high quality.
And finally, your video game Masters champion.
Yeah, I would be fucking... Dude, I'd be sweating. The GOAT. Italian champion this year. He's so hyped, dude.
And now one big final round of applause to these top trainers of the Pokemon 2024 World Championship.
Dude, good for them, man. Honestly, good for them. Wholeheartedly good for them. There was a Scottish champion in the senior division. I think his name was Mark something. That was like years ago.
While we reset the stage for closing ceremonies, we're going to stop in the analyst lounge one last time to recap the epic journeys from this year's event. Don't go anywhere because closing ceremonies will be starting very soon. And of course, we have some special announcements. I thought you'd like that.
All right, there you have it. Our champions have been crowned. The World Championships has almost come to a close. They are preparing for an amazing closing ceremony up on the big stage with some announcements that you are not going to want to miss. I know they are really good because they refuse to tell me what they are. Hi, everybody.
2015.
Spriggles, your resident content cowboy here. I am joined by Scott, Ross, and Butters. We're going to be talking about Unite, TCG,
it's crazy how much
and Pokemon Go, everything that happened this weekend.
Here, I'll just put this on.
Ready for those big announcements. Why don't we talk
Look, this is this is the Scottish kid that won in 2015.
Enjoyed a great show there. I don't know if we've ever had a better championship Sunday in the video.
Look how much the production values changed, dude.
Players get a full night to prepare. You know,
Mr. Shady.
Advantage over another. Not the case at all.
Yeah, this was seniors.
In every set. Very much in doubt toward the end. Shout outs to our junior division world champion with a 5th place international championship, followed up by 2 firsts and winning worlds. Almost won every big tournament in that division. Senior
that was shady.
Super close to maybe a Draco Meteor connection away from a championship. And yeah, in that Masters division final we just watched, so close toward the end there. You know, Iron Valiant, valiantly coming up with the runner-up finish.
Yeah, I love Pokemon, man.
There by Luca. Unfortunately, Yuta just unable to break the curse of Japan never ever winning on.
I mean, yeah, Shady commentated Pokemon back in the day, but he stopped because he wanted to be able to cover ROM hacks and stuff.
TCG.
Well, in TCG, up until now, we did have a nice little pattern where every 6 World tournaments,
Look at this.
Japan gets the win. We had a Japanese player in the final. Unfortunately, Shinosuke was unable to take the win here. What we had instead was Fernando Cifuentes'
They were on that shit, dude.
which a lot of people were not taking seriously coming in. Bit of a meme deck, bit of a
I'm not sure, actually.
Not got the best matchups. You know, matchup roulette is a phrase you'll hear a lot with it. And actually, if you can get all the way through the World Championships to the final and win, you've probably
First
got
Chile world champion, by the way. First world champion from Chile.
And Red Drago coming in.
Ever.
That's the deck to beat. 4 of them in Top Cut. Didn't even get to the final.
Wow, amazing. Tell me about Pokemon Go. I know there's a lot to talk about, not just what happened with the championships, but there's more information that you guys revealed.
Oh yeah, I'm buzzing right now. This is the best day to be a Pokemon fan of the entire year, in my opinion. Actually, scratch that. Best 24 hours for Unite to be a part of that as well, because those sounded epic. And on our side, we had a trainer literally go from 0 wins in 2023 to the hero of 2024 and become the world champion. That is Yakai right there. Our
That's crazy.
ever APAC region.
Yo, Charjabug being on the final team is crazy.
He is one of the most consistent trainers.
Yeah, and Cineworld's won 3 world
But
championships.
he's also probably the most talented team builder and team composition reader there is. He is able to read the opponent like I have never seen. Unfortunately, Yakai was the only trainer that he was unable to read, and Yakai was able to 3-1 him today. Martel Galde also put on an amazing performance with Whimsicott. I know we saw that in the VGC, but you don't see that much in Pokemon Go, so that was pretty epic. Lurgan Rocket, out of pocket, our North American International Champion, PvP David and Rocha Babyface. We had an awesome championship Sunday.
I gotta ask, they had never won before and they won the entire thing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, I mean, they qualified 2 years in a row. So they had to qualify through the APAC qualifier. So they did do well in that. But in last year's Worlds, they went 0-2 and 0-4. They didn't win a single game. And this time, they didn't drop a single match. Going all the way through the winner's side of the bracket, Inadequence was unable to reset the bracket. So literally 0 to hero. It is an amazing Pokemon journey.
That is incredible. I mean, that makes me feel like maybe I could win. You know what? I think I can't, actually. Pokemon Unite was absolutely insane. We had another sort of number streak that was broken. We have only had a victor from North America. Both of our world championships were won by Luminosity. This year, day 1,
Crazy.
the former world champs knocked out of the tournament. Early in the day, we found out that we would not have a 3-peat champion on our hands. In fact, it was going to have to be a region that had never made it to a grand finals before, which was pretty exciting. There were a few regions everyone had their eyes on. One was Japan. They have looked insane all year. It feels like Unite is exploding in Japan. The players are getting incredible, and Fennel was a team to look out for. We also had this early team Fusion, the first team to qualify through Worlds the entire year. They were the team to beat. Fusion starts making their way through the tournament.
Pokemon Unite
They end
2.
up getting knocked out by the underdog team, the Dark Horse, the team that so many people counted out, Zora Tigers Gaming from Korea. They make their way all the way through the bracket to the grand finals and face off against Japan, which is Fennel. Japan put on an insane performance, just like our last 2 World
Yeah, I like casual. I like casual games. I've been playing Overwatch again. I like casual Overwatch.
opponents. They didn't end it with a period, but with an exclamation point. They are the world champions without a doubt. It was an amazing weekend, a new region on top, the former world champs not even in day 2. It was very
in
exciting.
Pokemon Go, we had the same thing. Our former world champion got knocked out in day 1. How did your guys' world champions do throughout this tournament?
Too slow?
A bunch of
Damn.
world champions that we were tracking throughout the weekend. Tord Reklev was 1 match point away from making it into the top.
I think it's a bit late for that, Shadow.
Champion was very, very close. We saw Vance Kelly in day 2. We had a bunch of former world champions having good runs. They all fell a little short. But I got to ask you a question, Sprags, while we're here. This is the question. You know what the question's going to be?
I do, yeah.
Did we have any Mamoswine on stream this weekend on Unite?
So last year this question was asked, and I said, no, of course not. Mamoswine is not good enough. This year, Mamo Swine won the world championship.
Every time I looked at the screen, every single time, I see Mama Swine, my boy, plodding along. I saw Night Mama Swine. I saw
True.
Mama Swine.
That's right, yeah.
I saw the Mama Swine that looks exactly
Can't play
like
Overwatch till Yogs is back.
headphones and a baseball cap. Oh, made my day, that did.
Hey.
TCG was good, but I like me some Mama Swine.
Another 0 to hero for Mamoswine, right? Didn't win any games last year.
That's right.
This year wins the entire thing.
That's right. Mamo Swine, a Pokemon that everyone has loved in Unite, never found its place in the meta, and now all of a sudden is the biggest thing.
Diva
I really do think
is
it's
mostly who I play in Overwatch, but I like Mei. I like playing Mei when I'm playing attack. I like playing Hanzo. I like playing Lucio for healing. I like playing Roadhog sometimes. I like playing Zarya, but yeah, it's mostly Diva.
We did have both our reigning world champion and well as a former world champion and Wolf Glick make it to the top 32 of the tournament. Both of them lost that round, and that was kind of a story of the tournament. I think a lot of our big names, our tournament favorites, really struggled, and it created a window for
Bastion.
a lot of fun new players.
Man, I felt
the big names
blasphemous.
not doing so well. I think the quality of play has really never been higher. So I think everyone's probably looking at this tournament thinking, oh,
Fair
man,
enough. Yeah, I like
really gonna
Diva.
have to work next year if I want to compete with these guys.
Amazing. I would love to talk with you boys about Mamo Swine all night long, but we have the closing ceremony.
Closing ceremony.
Ready up on the big stage. Take it away.
All right, closing ceremony time. Jesus. Sorry, it's dark in here. I'm gonna try not to be too loud. We're gonna get some sort of announcement. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. The graphics for this is gorgeous, though. I'm not gonna lie. You can hear them in the background. 2, 1. All right, closing ceremony time. Oh, the music. That's so cute. Professor Sada is real.
Have you had a good weekend? I thought so.
Dude, I want to go to Worlds sometime. I've never been. I need to go sometime.
Thank you all for being part of Pokemon Worlds 2024. Many years at Worlds, as you know, we like to preview the latest and greatest to come to the Pokemon universe, and this year is no different. But
Me up at 5 a.m. for this.
future, let's take a moment to look back on this weekend.
To be fair, VGC was a lot of fun. The VGC, yeah. I'm glad I stayed up to watch this. This was really good. I want to go to Worlds so bad sometime, dude. Is that a shiny Pikachu? I love the Pokemon Jet. Looks like they had a blast, man. Honestly, me too, Glade. I like how they blurred out someone's shirt. Or well, it was their whole dress, actually. They're just blurring shirts. It's cool. That's so sick. It's a good song. Wolfie! Everyone. Dude, they put this together really fast. Dude, the light shows though. I'm pretty sure they should do. I'm gonna go looking for it after this. Dude. I'm glad Pokemon VGC is getting taken more seriously. I feel like Wolfie's a big part of why it's being pushed. Like, Wolfie's like fucking carrying the show on his back. Like, he's pushing that shit. Obviously not just him. All the players are. I'm just glad that it's getting more and more recognized. Dude, they put this together really fast. That just happened. That just happened.
What an event! The memories from this weekend will be treasured. I know I personally am so proud to be part of this with all of you. Now, we have some news.
Yeah, exactly.
To
Oh?
present those, please welcome to the stage the president and CEO of the Pokemon Company, Mr. Tsunekazu Ishihara.
All right, there was some news to share. Let's see what this is. This Worlds looked like so much fun though. I hope everyone had a good time. I wish I could have went. Maybe next time. This is what we stayed up till 5 a.m. for, guys. I enjoyed the finals of Worlds though. It was really, really fun. It's Mr. Pokemon himself.
Thank you everyone for tuning in and congratulations to all of our new world champions.
Yes, sir.
今年の世界大会は格別なイベントとなりました。皆さんの温かいご支援に感謝いたします。
This has been one of our best events to date, and I am thankful to all of you for your.
They've definitely stepped up their production value, I think, like just over the years. It's getting bigger and bigger, and I'm really happy for them.
ご尽力くださったボランティアの方々、
Thank you.
大会スタッフの皆さんに感謝します。
Honestly, yeah, the translator is very much iconic. I recognize him every single time I see him.
Event a big success.
Thank you, Clara. I mean, it's even if it's like something as simple as Pocket, it's still cool.
これからポケモンの最新情報をいくつかお伝えしましょう。
Now, I would like to share some of the latest news for our Pokemon games.
Okay. Okay.
ポケモン GO は先日8周年を迎えました。
Pokemon Go recently celebrated its 8th anniversary.
That's insane, dude. 8 years. Man.
より豊かなゲームに成長していくのを私は目の当たりにしてきました。地元の公園で友達と一緒にレイドを楽しむ遊び。
I feel, yeah, 8 years, dude, is not real.
誰もが楽しめる幅広いゲームになりました。そんなポケモン GO に新機能がまだまだ追加されます。
It has been exciting for me to see how full and rich the game has become, with something for everyone, from friends raiding together in local parks to the highest tiers of competitive play.
Pokemon Go
There are still
2.
many more new features to come.
では予告をご覧ください。
Here is a preview.
Oh, dude, I love how simple that translation was. Here's a preview. Okay. All right, man. What is going on? Is this Dynamax? What is happening? Pokemon Go's promotional stuff just always looks so goofy, man. The music. Okay. What's with Hangry Mode being displayed here, huh? What's all this about? Is this... Are you guys just drip feeding us one Pokemon? What's coming soon? Morpeko? Oh, breaking news. Dynamaxing. That's Dynamaxing. It's got to be. Yeah, it's Dynamaxing. Yep. Yep. We already knew about this because of leaks, but that's cool. Krabby does have a G-Max form. That's true. Well, Kingler. But yeah, you're right. Something big is coming. Why even make this trailer? Wow, I wonder what it could be. I hope some people don't actually know.
スペシャルアタックを使ってバトル中に姿を変えることができます。
So Morpeko is coming to Pokemon Go, and it will have the ability
Let's go!
to perform within a battle using a charge attack.
That's cool. I guess it's like because its abilities, they're kind of implementing its ability in a way.
To see how it may affect the Pokemon Go's competitive environment.
Maybe more Morpeko will be fire.
新たに巨大な新機能が加わります。近日中に公開される続報をお楽しみに。
Kingler's going to be the first Dynamax Mon they release.
Look forward to something gigantic coming to the world of Pokemon Go. Please stay
Gigantic?
tuned for more details soon.
Gigantic?
Pokemon Unite
Morpeko's cool.
3周年を迎えました。
Pokemon Unite recently celebrated its 3rd anniversary.
They're adding Psyduck,
現在
Darkrai,
で情熱的なコミュニティが築かれていることに
and something else I forgot.
その証が昨日の決勝戦にも現れていました。一昨日に発表された
I love that they're adding just Psyduck
選手の
and not Golduck.
今後の戦いに
Armor Rouge, that's the
大きな
one.
影響を与えるかもしれません。
Unite being 3-year-old, I feel like Unite feels older than that, but also it doesn't.
And the World Finals match yesterday was truly a testament to their spirit. And the new 500-point mode that was revealed the other day may have a role in future competitions.
さて、ポケモンユナイトの最新映像はこちらです。
Here's the sneak peek at the next updates for Pokemon Unite.
I mean, Psyduck is... I'm pretty sure Psyduck's like one of the... I think, is it Junichi Masuda's favorite Pokemon? I think? Or something like that? Or it's someone's favorite Pokemon. Oh, okay. Cerulege and Armarouge. Or is it just Armarouge? Oh, wait, no. Is Cerulege already in the game? Dude, yeah, these Pokemon are... These are like some of the coolest Pokemon, man. Both of them. That's sick. Darkrai? Yes. Yes. I just think of Patters whenever I see Darkrai, dude. Yeah, Psyduck being the final reveal is goated. Dude, what a what a list of 3 Pokemon, dude. Oh, I love that hairline, dude. The supporter Psyduck. That's so good, though. I love him. I do kind of love that it is just Psyduck. What a cute guy. He's like one of the most popular from the anime. It's just like, he's kind of like Pikachu core, you know? Okay, September, October, November. Cool. I don't play Pokemon Unite, but I love the art style of the game, to be honest.
グレンアルマ、ダークライ、コダックが参戦します。近日中公開される続報をお待ちください。
Armarouge, Darkrai, and Psyduck are preparing to dive into the action. More information will be coming your way in the near future. Please stay tuned.
Okay.
次に今年リリースされるポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットの最新映像をご紹介します。
Card game.
And now, please take a look at this new trailer for this year's upcoming title, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket.
Yeah, we knew this was coming. I'll try this out. I don't know if I'll... It depends on like how much of my time it takes up. I stopped playing Pokemon Sleep because it felt like I was doing chores every morning, first thing. I mean, I know you don't have to do it first thing in the morning, but it just felt like too much of a chore. I didn't really feel fun after a while, so I'll try this out. I think you get like 1 free thing a day or whatever, so let's go gambling. I'll give it a shot. We'll see if we keep up with it. I'm so bad at keeping up with games that require you to play every day. Plus, the Pokemon Go Plus didn't work the best. Like, if you... Like there was no lock function for the Pokemon Go Plus. So if you, like, laid on it for long enough, it would just stop tracking your sleep. And it's like, why did I pay $50 for this? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. October 30th, was that? Pre-order now, as if it isn't free. Oh? Mega? I don't know anything about Pokemon cards. Oh, that's cool. Sorry, I see Mewtwo and I think of Mega Evolution. My bad. My bad, chat. That's so cool, dude. What? What was that all about? Mewtwo was the first Mega announced, yeah. Before we knew what Mega Evolution was.
世界中で楽しまれているのがポケモンカードを集めることです。手軽にポケモンカードをコレクションする楽しさを新たなデジタルフォーマットでお届けするのがポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットです。
It's a lot to translate.
Players all over the world have been enjoying collecting Pokemon cards since their debut in 1996. Now, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket lets you easily collect Pokemon cards in a new digital format.
本日からアップストアと
I love the Meganium statue.
登録ができるようになりました。この秋、皆さんにポケモントレーディングカードゲームポケットを遊んでもらえるのを楽しみにしています。
Trainers can pre-register now via the App Store.
Isn't he a translator?
And we're so excited for you to have the opportunity to play Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket this fall.
Imagine just being a...
ポケモンカードゲームの最新情報をお知らせしたいと思います。
Next, we'd like to share some news about the Pokemon Trading Card Game.
こちらの映像をご覧ください。
This fucking guy! This fucking guy! You can only laugh, man. You can only have fun. You can only have a good time, man. Clefairy! Is that Lily? Yeah. Yummy. All right, man. You're a dark type. Mind your... Okay. Thief. She's not even phased, bro. She's like, all right, I'm a fairy type trainer. I'm gonna whoop that. Oh, that's so cool. Lily's Clefairy. Oh, that's so sick. Okay. These fucking birds. Come in! No way! Oh, it's gonna be... Okay, so they're releasing like... this is really cool. I like the animation. Oh, Marnie's Grimmsnarl. That's really cool. Okay. Oh, wait, is this Leon's Charizard? This is Leon's Charizard, huh? Or Leon's Pult. Oh, what's going on? Oh, N? Okay, it just came out of left field. Not Purloin, what the hell, man? Poor guy. What's going on here, man? Alright, you're facing a Reshiram right now, bro. And Zoroark. That's an easy one to put on the card. Is this like a new thing where they like... Have they ever... Oh, it ends Reshiram. Have they ever done this before where like trainers... Oh, that's a really cool card. That's a really... Oh, there's more. Okay. Oh my god. Trainers Pokemon? That's super cool. Oh, Team Rocket. Wait, are we gonna get... Jesse and James. Oh, that's so cool, dude. I like that Jesse and James transcend the anime. There was Arvin and there was Johto guy. That was really cool. I didn't think it was a new thing, but it's cool they're doing it again.
We hope you look forward to the excitement that the introduction of trainers Pokemon will bring to the Pokemon trading card game.
Oh yeah, of course. It's definitely a thing they've done before. I remember.
ホノルルでの世界大会2024はここに幕を閉じますが、今後の世界大会を見据えたいと思います。次の世界大会の開催地を見てみましょう。
Now we're about to close out our event here in Honolulu. I would like to take a look at the future of the Pokemon World Championships. Let's see where we're going next.
Okay. Wait, where are we going next? Wait, where is this? Wait. Is it actually gonna be Cali? LA? Anaheim. Where the hell is that? California. Cool. That's doable. That's doable. That's doable. That's doable. Where Disneyland is that? Oh, I've been there before then. I think Sky will want to go to that. Maybe me and Sky will go to Worlds next year. Wait, what's this? 2026? In San Francisco? Oh my god, they're already announcing it. That's crazy. Interesting. Wow, that's crazy. August 15th. Wow. Crazy. Alright, take a screenshot of that.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for always supporting Pokemon.
それでは皆さん、来年もまたお会いしましょう。
And I look forward to seeing you all next year.
Exciting. Well, two America worlds back to back. I wonder why.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ishihara. As the 2024 Pokemon World Championships draw to a close, we leave more fulfilled and inspired than ever before. We've crowned new world champions.
Hawaii is, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Memories that will last a lifetime. The future of Pokemon
3 back to back in America.
with
Crazy.
the 2025 season coming up quickly on the horizon. A heartfelt thank you to our gracious hosts in Hawaii for the unforgettable weekend. Thank you all for your unwavering support of Pokemon. Until next time, trainers, stay strong, stay passionate, and we'll see you in the next chapter of our incredible journey. Bye for now.
Yeah, I guess we're doing probably Scarlet and Violet again for... That's crazy. I feel like they need to mix it up. But like, I mean, maybe not. Doing Scarlet and Violet for another Worlds though. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not pressed about there being no ZA. I was like, I thought they were gonna announce something crazy, but no, I'm not disappointed. That's all good. It's all good. It's non-existent. Yeah, I feel like they need to do more with Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know. That's exciting. Anaheim and fucking San Francisco. At least we know where like where to save up for, you know? All right though. Yeah, I thought there was gonna be something, but it's all good. Dude, another 2 years of Scarlet and Violet would be crazy. You want to see the game footage? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This was a good time. I'm glad I stayed up to watch this. I had fun. Hope you guys did too. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm actually not even tired anymore, but hey, whatever. I'm gonna go lay down. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I've got a video for you guys tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you want to go watch someone, let's see, I think Nexus is doing a subathon, so I'll raid Nexus. I think Nexus should still be live after everything's said and done. So if you want to keep watching a stream, go support my boy Nexus. Here, I'll redirect you guys to him if it wants to. Here we are. All right, go hang out with Nexus. All right, have a good one, guys.